Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Flank. I'm joined by the one and only, the human turret, one of the best ARs to ever do it. Give it up for the world champ himself, Sam LaRue Octane. We're joined by some of the best analysis in the game, world champ Christopher Duarte Parasite. We are joined by the multi-world champion, the multi-champion, a legend icon to the Call of Duty scene. Give it up for Patrick Price, a.k.a. Aches. And then, of course, we got the one and only, the executive producer of The Flank. Give it up for Benjay Nassim. Gentlemen, how we doing, man? Long time no see, gentlemen. Long time no see.
Yeah,
it's
real
almost
long
like
time of what? How many hours, Chris?
Yeah, I was gonna say like 72.
So yeah, it really hasn't been. I got stuck in the fucking airport on the way back, man. I got stuck. I don't know
what happened.
I don't know if you were you guys at that bar? Everybody was at that speakeasy bar, right? That night it was like 2 o'clock.
I got pissed because I left. And
Oh,
didn't
here
know
we
there was
go.
an outdoor area. I would have stayed for another fucking 2 hours if I knew there was an outdoor.
Yeah, it
area
was a
back.
secret. It was so you walk into the
Bull.
secret room, and then there's a secret room within the secret room that
Nah,
brings
I'll
you to
completely
an outdoor
outside.
patio that's outside. Yup, it's good
Awesome.
work back there. You know what I
Lost
mean?
of composure. Sam
Yeah.
and I left like the same time.
Yeah, no, it was fun. But then I left at 2 a.m. to go to the airport. My flight was at like 4 or 5. I didn't take off till like 11 a.m. like 11:30 a.m. I was stuck in the airport all night. Bro, people went home, fell asleep, came to the airport and saw me there on the floor, like just looking all fucked up from just standing up all night, and it was hilarious, bro. I saw Lamar there and Miles. It was fucking comedy when they
What
got
time did you
there.
get home?
I have no idea. Probably like I go back in time because I went back to the West Coast. So
Yeah, what time did your flight take off?
like 11. So it was
Damn, that's insane. You were up the whole night.
yeah, the whole night, just from the whole night I was in the airport. Just delay after
That
delay.
sounds
But
miserable.
how
I
you
got
guys?
home right after the event.
Yeah, this guy Pat literally
Pat
just
walked
drove home, bro.
Bro, speaking of, I don't think I told you guys, bro, some absolute lunatic, I'm talking lunatic, followed like me home half the way and was like, had an Optic sign in his fucking
What?
windshield, just
Bro,
putting it
Porter
up
said
every time he
Porter said the
passed me.
same shit.
Yeah, bro, there's some lunatics out there for sure. I was
You
like,
telling
yeah,
me
this is
that you had somebody following you home with an Optic sign?
Yeah, he was in a white SUV. I couldn't see what kind it was. A white SUV, and he would like pull up to me, like he'd try and gun it and get beside me, and then like put an Optic sign in the passenger window.
This sounds like this sounds like on point.
That's what happened. But you know,
That's actually insane.
You're taking a photo.
Porter said the same shit, bro.
but, I had a GTR, so I got out of there quick.
Oh, here we go.
Here
This
we
guy
go, bro.
can't be serious, man. What about you, Chris, Sam? You guys doing good? You guys all right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
man.
tired. Honestly, I drove home from Austin. Finally got back on the stream grind. Honestly, I'm just kind of finding it's difficult to find out what to play. I played like an hour of MW3 rank. That shit was miserable. I got killed by silencers. Then I got DDoS the next game. I'm just cooked. I don't know what to do. I literally don't know what to do in the offseason.
DDoS?
Yeah, like the server got sent to the moon by hackers.
Yeah, I saw Dylan
That's crazy.
tweet a picture of someone dropping 100 on him today.
Yeah, it's cooked, bro. Like, there's nothing to play.
Yeah, be like that, man. It really do be like that.
Wait, people still DDoS nowadays? I thought that was beyond us.
Now they don't DDoS like
They hit off the
players. They
server,
hit
so
off the
the
server,
game
so
crashes.
the game crashes.
That's
Yep.
so weird. Why would anybody want to do that? I just don't
It's their
understand
fail
that.
safe. If you're about to win, they'll knock the server off.
It's a big
Ah.
problem in FIFA Ultimate Team. People doing an Ultimate Team like a weekend league. It's super cheese.
That's so annoying, bro. That actually sucks. Yo, Ben, take the lead for a second. I gotta go talk to this guy Gizmo.
No problem. Gizmo's popping off. And Tom was probably about to ask me, right? You know, maybe ask me
man,
about
yeah,
it.
go ahead. How's the
Well,
weather?
how's my
Tell us
day?
everything
How's the
about your
weather?
day.
It
Tell us
randomly
about
rained
your
today,
day,
but anyway. No, weather's good. I'm gonna go play golf later this week. We got a big scramble. I'm gonna stream that. It's a scramble rematch. I'm playing with Nameless. That should be interesting. I need him to step up this week, so hopefully he clutches up Mr. FaZe Boogeyman. But I've been playing NCAA. I don't know if anyone in chat or anyone watching this, at home has been playing that game. It's great. It's super difficult, super punishing, but like,
Bro, you're playing
Look-
NCAA. Just go out there and play football, bro. What is wrong with you?
yeah, chat will back me up, bro. Game's a W, man. Lock in.
I'm just
Chris.
trolling.
What
I'm
did he?
trolling.
I got away. I thought you were gonna get into it. You started talking golf or basketball. What did
No,
you start
Tom,
talking?
You got up. You
Bro,
got
he-
up, and he said, and
The
I
weather's
quote,
nice.
he was probably about to ask me about how my day was, right? And then started yapping.
This
Full
is
on, yeah.
unbelievable.
Full speed, yeah, bro.
Yeah,
He said,
I
"Oh,
should
Tom
have
about to ask
expected
me,
that. I
right?"
should have expected that. But listen,
Well-
I said we hop into it. There's a lot to talk about. I want to talk about roster changes. There's been a few things that have happened. since champs, and then we also have potential EWC groups. Ben, I don't know if these are 100%, but this is how we think what the seeding is going to end up. This is what you guys think.
I think Turtle has done a closest job. There's some ambiguity, so maybe there's some pros in the chat. Maybe some people didn't know, but we'll talk about that at the end.
All right, cool. I say we switch on over, and we'll talk about the first roster change on my list. We got the Minnesota ROKKR making some changes here, folks. Let's switch on over and see what's going on here. Looks like we got DiamondCon and Estriel joining the roster with Accuracy and Lens. So a little bit of a switch up. I feel like people thought Big P was going to be in there for a little while. Now it's Lamar. And of course, you're bringing in DiamondCon and Estriel over from LAG. What do you guys think about this? I didn't see it coming. And then I found out about the team last second, and then it got leaked. So this is kind of how I guess this is the roster they're going with EWC. I don't know if it's going to be like a trial thing for them, like, oh, let's see how they do, and then go from there, or if they, I don't know what kind of contracts they signed. But what do you guys think about the situation? I mean, Chris
You can't keep getting away with it, Tom.
Go ahead, Pat.
This
Go
is
ahead.
a blow to Optic, bro.
Can't
the coach.
keep getting away with it.
No, we're saying that with JP in the chat, bro. That's disrespectful.
Bro, this team sucks. Can I just be honest? I understand
Yeah.
DiamondCon and Estriel are solid, but like this team stinks, man. They stink.
DiamondCon, and I'm looking at the stats right now. This season in Hardpoint, DiamondCon's like basically like positive life or like speed-ish stats, like engine stats per 10. Like he's in the bottom fourth of the league, percentile on that. And so that's kind of weird for me. He's gonna need to play quicker on this team because Lamar is sort
Great.
of
The exact same fucking thing.
yeah. This is my thing is like I don't really see from an AR standpoint what this solves. Maybe from a sub standpoint with Estriel instead of Standy, maybe they're kind of relying on that to kind of figure itself out. But I still think the team's gonna have the same problems on the back end. I don't really think their S&D takes a massive hit with this change, but you know, you can't win every series by winning 3 S&Ds because there aren't 3 in a series. So I don't really
I like
see
their sub duo.
what
I
the team's
think
gonna
it's
do.
interesting.
I think
It's
their
interesting.
sub duo gets a
Sub-duo.
little bit more interesting just because I feel like with Lens and Standy, like they were both kind of like roaming Slayer type subs, where Estriel kind of gives me more of that like super aggressive, like in your face. Like in my opinion, I feel like Estriel fits Lens a little bit more. If you were gonna decide about that second sub with Estriel, I feel like you would have to balance between. You would have to pick between either Lens or Standy. You would have to pick between one or the other just based on play style. And I think they just decided to go with Lens, right? Obviously, they picked Lens. I think that's ultimately what it came down to. Like, let's get Estriel, and who do you want to keep, Lens or Standy?
I'm honestly just curious how, like, I mean, the sub duel is fine, like on paper in terms of play style and like skill, like it's there. I'm just curious how like this team decided with like Gunless and Lamar, because I think Lamar has had not really the best history the last stage or last couple stages he's played. And I feel like regardless of what you think, I think Big P, at least from a statistical perspective, he was pretty decent. So I'm just curious as to what made them choose Lamar over Pierce.
I thought Lamar was done with his roster. I thought he was done.
I thought Lamar was, yeah.
I thought he was about to start coaching. I really thought he was like helping
I
Optic
could
for a
have swore I
second.
saw Lamar on stage after Optic won, bro. I don't know what
He was
happened
holding
there.
up a brick by brick flag and shit.
He got interviewed by Blaze. Y'all didn't see it?
You know, but yeah,
It's like
I
them hitting
was
the
I
bang
was
of drums,
surprised
bro.
by I was surprised by the switch up as well. I I didn't expect Lamar to be in there. So that threw me off a little bit. For sure. But Sam, what do you think about? I mean, overall, I mean, you said you like the sub duo. What about DiamondCon? You guys like DiamondCon being slotted in there? I mean, I feel like DiamondCon's
No,
been.
I don't.
I think you're just splitting hair. I'm glad he asked you, Ben.
Sorry.
Motherfucker. I think
good.
DiamondCon and Gunless are just like splitting hairs, bro. I think you're not moving the needle in either which direction.
Yeah.
I do like the sub, like genuinely, I like the sub duo a lot, but yeah, the AR duo is the exact same problem they had before.
I will say I'm just glad they get to go. Like I feel like the LAG guys got fucked over, whatever their organization is, you know, and them not wanting to send their team over there, and not even giving them the opportunity to compete is just kind of, you know, it sucks for them. So they get, you know, regardless of what the team is like, I'm just glad they land on a roster because there's, I think ProLoot was also a culprit of that. I think his team got poached by Boston, but ProLoot
he's-
ended up finding himself
he's
on a
good.
challenger team. So like, I don't know. I'm just glad they got to play.
So is Flames like shit out of luck?
Flames is the only one should have luck. Yep.
Here's my only thing though, Chris, is again, I think that show's very good. And I think for ROKKR, this could almost be a little bit of a coup because I don't know what kind of contract these players are signing for EWC. The short-term thing, and they might be able to parlay that and end up getting him for next season, which would be a huge get for them. But I just think that Diamondcon and Lamar kind of play the same role. And unless Connor is going to totally change up his play style in the next couple of weeks to sort of fit the needs of this team, I just don't really see like
he used
role-wise how
to
this
be a
works.
flex. I just think that LAG, like their system and the way they would play as a team, like they just always played hardpoint very slow and methodical. So I mean, Lamar, he likes to obviously take the reins in terms of leadership on teams. So I'm curious if he will install some new ideology into these guys because they're probably so used to the way their team plays the game.
Shit,
That
that
they're
roster
just
team was slow as shit too. There's not.
Yeah,
gonna-
I know.
it's
But
not
like, I mean, I just think like Diamondcon is probably more of a aggressive player than people would say. Just like I said, he just plays that way because of his team. Because I've played with him in challengers, I've seen him in challengers.
Yeah,
so-
he's more on the aggressive side, I would say, Chris.
Yeah, you also played with him. Like he's
Yeah,
He's not just
he,
like a-
he,
Yeah,
like
for
he,
sure.
he likes to pick up a sub and shit and get
Hypothetically,
like he'll get active with a sub.
yeah.
I mean, at
Um,
least they fixed the whole like role debacle, right? Like I've said it twice already, but I really like the sub duo. Like we had a huge problem with the two duos prior, the AR and the subs. So at least they fixed one of them. And obviously, we'll see how Lamar and Diamondcon play together. But I mean, at least they're trending in the right direction. But we'll see how they do with EWC. At least they got a little bit of time to practice as well. It's not like an instant plug and play.
I do want to
Yeah,
say Lamar does have to get back in his bullshit. You know what I mean? Like Lamar has had better years. I
Yeah.
think he would probably even
Needs to
say
start
that
getting
as well. You know, like so
Yeah.
I think, and then in terms of like Linz, I think Linz needs to be more consistent. Same with Estriel. Like I feel like Estriel, he was obviously amazing towards the end of the year. I think just like consistency is going to be key with these guys, just being consistent. And I think a lot of that comes down to being on the same page. And from my understanding, that's what was going on with Minnesota ROKKR, you know, when they were teaming before this team, is they just couldn't get on the same page. Like they were all over the place. So
Yeah, we should get some former players on. I think
I would love to get some former players on, but
they might have some interesting characterizations about this roster, but
yeah.
I listen. I like the Estriel pickup. I want to see what happens with Connor and Lamar. We'll get to their group at EWC in a sec because it's an interesting one and they have a tough one. So we'll see if this works.
Yeah, we'll take a look here at, I think Standy tweeted as well, right? Didn't Standy tweet about kind of some of the stuff that went down? I guess he got into like, an argument with somebody or something happened. What happened with Standy? After some review
didn't
this
see
year
any
wasn't
of
the
the
greatest for
tweets.
me, but it would not define me. Had an off start with Legion because I disagree with some aspects of how to play the game, and it led to me getting heated. I acted out of sorts due to losing, and that was on me. Now I'm gonna switch. Yeah, I'll switch the scene. Hold on. Thank you, Sam. I apologize. Well, Sam, I was reading it.
I know, just making sure.
No, thank you, Sam. Thank you so much for your executive producing. I acted out of sorts due to losing, and that was on me. Thankfully, got an opportunity to play with ROKKR, so I am incredibly grateful for that. One thing I'm proud of is that I always tried my best to stick to the team's game plan and play for the win however I could have. I've learned a lot from both teams. So, clearly, Eli here. W accountability, Eli?
Scroll down, Tom. There's a very interesting combo
Absolutely.
that he has with Clay. Scroll
Absolutely.
down. So
Absolutely.
you click on that Standy reply to Noah.
Okay.
You'll see what Clay said to him.
All right, fuck it. Let's go. At Clayster from Standing, and Clay responded, "If you didn't have rocks in your head, you could have been with me this year." Oh, Jesus. What does that mean? Rocks in your head.
Clay probably wanted to play with them again this year, and he just said no.
Thank God he said no, but Carolina's sub duo was better.
Maybe you just Clay wasn't a fan of the way he played. I don't know. It's one or the other.
Interesting.
I don't
Here's
think
what I'll
Clay would
say.
outright say that though.
Here's what I'll say. Look at someone like Dash who just won a chip this year. And Brandon's readily admitted in the last, I'll say 18 months that like he felt like he was an L teammate for the majority of his career. And he had a point when he got dropped that he realized I got to change the way that I approach the team and myself or I'm going to end up out of the league. And I like this tweet from Standy because he acknowledges his shortcomings and says, look, I got to work on this shit. You know, we all know that Standy's naturally, he's talented. We see his slaying numbers. We see what he does on the map. It's the other stuff that's getting him in trouble. If he can work on that stuff, this guy is a fucking phenomenal playmaker in the league.
Yeah, he took
So,
accountability. I think that's
yeah,
all you
I
really
like
could
the-
do in a situation like that.
Yeah, I like the accountability, and if he figures out his stuff, like he'll have staying power in this league, man. I really believe it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any other thoughts on that? So, Pat, if you had to build a team, build a roster for Minnesota ROKKR, because you said this team stinks, you hate this team. I mean, what would you do here, Sam? Or sorry, Pat. What would you do? Or you
You're gonna
just
say the
have no
Gwyn
fucking
guys, or
idea?
He's either gonna say the Gwyn guys or he's gonna say 3 mil over 3 years.
I mean, the Gwyn guys, yeah, that'd be great. But that's not happening. Obviously, at this point, they blew that opportunity. But I don't even know, Tom. That's the sad part. I just know this team sucks.
That's all you know, Pat. That's all you know. This team sucks.
I'm honestly surprised.
Lakes.
Maybe obviously there's a lot of stuff going on because of EWC, but I'm still surprised that some of your guys didn't get hit up, Tom. There's a couple of people on there that I feel like, should get opportunities or maybe asked to get opportunities.
Don't say should. Just who?
I think Rex is definitely up there.
Think they'll-
Yeah, actually,
I think both
their
are
ARs on their team should get.
I
I think
we talked about that before when Minnesota was making changes. So I totally agree with you. I'm surprised they didn't pull the trigger on that then.
I also think Brack is good. Brack was literally just.
Brack is good.
Brack is insane on land, bro. On land, he's just a different breed,
he
bro.
was he was pretty good back when he first got in the league and like the beginning of his career, but like obviously he had so much to learn. And then like he kind of just got bounced around that Florida lineup and he just got a bad stigma because he was like slow. But I mean, like statistically, that guy always puts up stats like at every single like challenger tournament, and they're like all ridiculous. And he's always going to good at search. So I kind of just like, I think he's just one of those players that has a stigma around him, and he's just been in the league before, so people aren't like giving an opportunity. But I mean, I've said this before. Some of the people in the league that are AR players, they're probably on their way out because there are just not that many very good ones. And he is. At least I know like that guy shoots the gun while other ARs don't really shoot their weapon at all.
I was thinking maybe give Mac a call. See what's going on with Mac.
Not right now. He's just the game's at the end of the lifespan. If you pick up somebody like Mac, like and give him a month to play this game,
that's true. That's true. He's so far behind. There's no point. But you got to think that somebody might be trying to look at Mac like going into next season. I mean that does make sense. So there'd be absolutely no point to pick him up right now.
I think the key. Like Ender is let's see if he plays SNE Shells and he plays SNE Shells with. That might be a good tell if someone's willing to take a chance on him on a CDL team.
People are saying Ailey, but I mean Ailey's been so quiet, man. Every time this happens, this situation happens, he just goes dark.
That guy hasn't grinded the game since.
Yeah, I don't think he's
That's
even
a tryout
been
with
playing.
this team like fucking 3 months ago.
Yeah. I mean, people are talking about saying Abuza, Hixie. I don't know Abuza's situation. I'm sure Seattle's going to want to hold on to Abuza. People are mentioning Vivid as an option. Vivid, I know Vivid's been a good player. How did Vivid do this weekend?
Vivid did not qualify for champs.
That's tough.
I think for Abuza, my guess is for anyone in that like weird free agency situation, I think they'll probably just because they want to stick with the team, sign like a short-term kind of deal, and then after EWC, they'll be a full free agent.
Slasher and Don Dada. Yo, what's going on with Austin?
He's probably just waiting until next year.
Just waiting till. Nah, there's no way he didn't want. He's definitely got to play for. He would probably want to play EWC.
So long, bro.
If somebody hit him up for eSports World Cup exclusively, I'm sure he would have been.
Yeah,
down.
he'll take the offer, but he just hasn't played in so long that I don't know if any CDL teams would want to do it.
Yeah,
he just hasn't been scrimming in months.
Yeah,
and Don's team got out of groups, but they got rounded, I believe, and got top 8, so they did not qualify for this event. So it was him, Cap, Eric, and Adam Assault.
Yeah, they lost 5-3 last map to get eliminated.
Or
they were up 5-3. Sorry.
Yeah, another name getting thrown around is Capsule. I feel like I've seen that name a lot. People want to see Capsule get back in there. Capsule has been good in challenges, bro, and I feel like he's always kind of been good. He's kind of got the shit end of the stick. Capsule is one of those guys who I feel like definitely got the shit end of the stick.
Yeah,
being in
the
the
Boston Blender.
Yeah,
He's also one of those players that he just has so much more maturity in his gameplay that he needs to like develop before he's like, well, he should still be in the league. Like it will help him develop. I think he's good enough to at least be in it. But like the reason people just like look past him is because it's just like his gameplay maturity is not there. He's very reckless in his gameplay, and some people just are not fans of that type of play style, even though he does shoot his gun. Like I don't know how to explain it, but that's the best way I could put it into words.
I would say, just to add on, I don't think the Cap on Boston this year got the shin to stick. And your point about maturity, I think that's part of the thing that he's got to figure out.
Okay.
He's talented, but that other piece.
I'm gonna actually, now that I think about it, I'm actually going to put it this way. Cap and Snoopy have very similar issues. Maybe Snoopy has a little bit more on the comm side, but in terms of like their play style and like what gets them in trouble and why people kind of just like look at them as the players they are, Cap and Snoopy are very young in that aspect in terms of like maturity and gameplay. Maybe Cap less so, but I mean it's the same thing. Like that's why, it's just hard for him to get on a team right now.
All right, let's move on to the next roster. Unless anybody else has anything else to say. Anybody got anything else on Minnesota ROKKR?
No, I'll talk about them more when we take a look at the groups.
All right, let's move on to the next team. We got the Vegas Legion here. It's going to be Geo, Attach, Nero, and the new member of the squad, Fame. I think this one definitely surprised me. I know that I guess Johnny has some personal reasons that he had to step back. So first and foremost, I hope everything's okay with Johnny. I think that's the most important part. I hope he's doing well. Johnny's
I put the
obviously
tweet in the DM if you want to click on it, Tom.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it when you guys start talking. We'll see what's going on with Johnny. But for now, it looks like we got Fame, who's going to be joining the roster. And I feel like we've seen glimpses of Fame. I just don't know if there's any other options. If there was anybody else they were looking at. I guess I was just a little surprised by it. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I just
why did they drop him?
Johnny can't play.
Yeah, he took a step down.
He says he can't play Esports World Cup. He has like personal issues or something.
He has a health.
He does have like a very ratty play style, and and I know that's a good play style to have, especially playing off of like a player like Nero who's so aggressive. Like it's good to have somebody who's kind of like taking routes, being ratty, like doing little things like that. But what do you guys think about it? Like, what do you guys think about Fame? And I mean, Pat, why don't we start with you, Pat, on this one?
I mean, it's kind of annoying because I actually thought this Vegas squad was solid. I don't think Fame is going to match Johnny personally. I thought Johnny was pretty good. I've never really been impressed by Fame. You guys maybe feel different, but I feel like they could have got somebody else.
Okay.
I don't mind the
What
change.
do you think, Chris? What do you think?
I don't mind it at all. I think LAG's issues was just inconsistency in slaying and from pretty much the entire roster. I don't think there was a single like person that could reliably play well, and I think that caused every single player on the team to kind of overthink the way they played, especially in respawns. And it just kind of made every single player inconsistent. Although Fame was one of those players that when they did like win series, or like take good teams to like map 5s and stuff like that, Fame often had like really good series in those series.
Wait, hold on, Chris. You're talking about the same guy who's either a 1.25 or a 0.55.
Okay.
Like,
yes, but hear me out. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he's not consistent. I'm saying the whole team was wildly inconsistent. So it obviously
but he in particular,
but his whole career, he's been consistent. I haven't seen Fame be a consistent player on any team.
On the original ROKKR team, when he first got on there, it wasn't like he was like we always talked about he was pretty reliable. He was solid. We never said he was
Who
like
said that.
Once he
said that
he's
last
running an AR. I mean, once he got role switch was better.
Hello, listen, please stop interrupting me. So, like, put it this way: when he's in a more stable team environment, like obviously his gameplay is going to elevate, and I feel like he gets better on land. So, when it comes down to this team, I feel like you actually have reliable slaying on this team when it comes to Nero, Attach, and Geo. So, if he's going to play better, this is where like an environment where he should thrive and be a little bit more consistent in his play style. He's not in a situation where he's dealing with everybody being consistent. He just has to worry about himself. And I feel like that will help bring out the best in him. I'm not saying like that's going to happen, but in theory, you should get a better version of Fame from a consistency factor with this core 3.
All right. Well,
you see what
Ben,
I'm saying?
We'll get to you, Ben, in just a second.
Yep.
Sam, let's go to you. Sam, what do you think about this roster here, Sam? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm with Pat here. It's unfortunate that Johnny had to step down because I was a huge fan of the team. You can see them getting better with the reps. But I have a counter question for Chris. How would you compare Johnny and Fame's like play styles as submachine guns?
Well, I don't know. I feel like Johnny kind of adapted his gameplay style because when he was on Vegas, he was definitely playing way more around the objective. But when I saw him in challengers, he was like cut heavy, just run like more running.
You're saying Johnny?
Yeah, Johnny was. So like when it came to the Vegas team, I liked the way he was playing because he kind of freed up everybody else. As far as Fame, like that's the thing about this LAG team. I don't really know if any of them had like some crazy strict play styles. They all just seemed like they they just changed how they played every day. So it was really hard to get a grasp on like how well any of them would do, because they would one time come out and drop like 1.2s, or sometimes come out and just get fucking fried. So
I asked
I
the
just
question
know-
because
Yeah,
of the ASIM situation. Like I'm just getting
Mhm.
like weird PTSD with that, because I think that Johnny was genuinely just such a good piece for them in the sub duo
yeah.
that like this roster change is just like sending me straight back to that Purge ASIM like fiasco with the team. And I know that Fame wasn't super consistent, and LG was horrible, you know, this, that, and the other, but Johnny was just like a good 0.9, 1.1 player, high damage, high engagement, usually in the right spot. And Fame was just everywhere. And I know that LAG, you know, had their ups and downs and shit, but I mean, you could still be a consistent player on an inconsistent team, and he was not that at all.
Yeah, of
so
course.
like he could just come onto the team and do well, but the things that I've seen for a full year of Modern Warfare 3, I don't like the change. Granted, they had to make one, and there were probably other players, but I for one am not a fan of it.
Yeah, I don't really know where else they could have gone. They could have taken a risk for sure and like tried to go with another challenger player, because I don't really know if they were getting anybody else outside of like the people that are experienced in the league in the LAG camp. But I just know, at least knowing Fame as a person, I just think he's not a bonehead. So he will do whatever it takes to kind of like try to win. He's not just going to run around kill war and just do nothing. So, I mean, from a potential standpoint, if Fame can channel, you know, even like 50% of what like would help him play well against those teams, I don't mind it. Will that happen? No, fuck knows if I know. But I mean, they were forced to make a change. It's not like they dropped Johnny, so
I think the thing that is helping them right now too is the amount of time between the events. It's not like you're spawning in a week in a match. You know what I mean? Like they get good scrim time between the two events. So I think that's like the one thing that they have going for them to try to mend whatever cracks would be between Vegas and LAG this year, to like try to come together a little bit. But
you gotta think, Attached did play with Fame.
I don't know how I feel about it.
Attached did play with Fame on ROKKR, so he probably, you know, didn't mind.
Familiarity,
it was familiar, and he probably was like, yeah, fuck it, let's go with this guy. So I don't know.
Ben, go ahead. What'd you want to say?
Familiarity.
So,
Death of all teams.
I think, look,
Correct.
obviously this wasn't what they wanted to do, and obviously we wish the best to Johnny. They can sort whatever he's got, and kind of hopefully this OG squad sticks together and they kind of run it back. I think to compare the two players, I think Johnny and Fame and Searcher probably going to give you the same level of production in that game mode, which is good, I think, for Vegas, especially thinking about their win conditions going forward. Like they need to be able to ice up those S&Ds. I thought that Fame and Diamondcon probably like two best control players for LAG this year. I think Johnny really struggled, at least in the short stint he had in that game mode. The problem that I see with Fame, though, is I think his hardpoint stats have been like all over the fucking table this year. And to Pat's point, like he's either dropping a 1.2 or dropping like a 0.7. And it's kind of reminiscent of the Purge situation a little bit with Vegas. So let's see how he kind of slots in with the system, and maybe you get kind of an overperformance from him in that game mode. But I can kind of see this Vegas kind of situation being sort of, they're just getting at 3-1, you know, kind of with Fame, and that's it.
Yeah, his hard point has been kind of up and down, huh? I feel like that's probably his weakness, right? That's probably his weakness compared to his S&D control. I don't have the stats in front of me, but
that's why I made that Purge
I have the
comparison
stats.
earlier.
If you want to take a look at my Discord stream, Tom, I can show you.
I mean, the whole question with this LAG team is like, we've seen glimpses of all of them that got picked up do well at points in time. DiamondCon had stints, Estro had stints, Fame had stints. It's more so like, is the product of their inconsistency as players a product of their team environment and meshing, or is it just like their true nature on this game? So like, right, at least for Fame, I wouldn't say this for Connor and Estro, because I don't think like Lamar and Linz are like the most desirable location to land on. But for Fame, at the very least, like if he doesn't play well, it's a him thing, and you know that's just yet to be seen.
Hardpoint gap, dog.
Yeah. But you see in Search, like they're very similar players, productivity. Like, you know, you're not worried about Fame laying the rock, like winning opening duels, being productive, positive in life. Like I think S&D's good, and you see the difference in control. And again, Johnny's sample size is really small, so let's keep that in mind, because he didn't have the longest stint with this team where Fame's been around all year. But you see that Fame stats, even with LAG struggles at times in this game mode, he's been fairly productive, especially defensively.
Johnny just showed a lot of potential and a lot of confidence. He showed a lot of confidence early on, and I think that was like a big thing for me. Like he wasn't afraid to chow, and I think somebody who just comes right in and is not afraid to like make plays and chow like that, like I think it goes a long way for the team. You know, obviously Vegas this year, they just had a hard time closing. They couldn't close any series out this year.
I guess I have a question for all of you, and it's kind of more generic, but we talked about teams recycling players before.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like they're recycling like Fame isn't like a veteran by any means. Like he's still pretty like I would still consider him in like a near rookie class, right? He's only had like a year or two.
To sophomore year, yeah.
Yeah. Why is that being recycled? Like I could understand like a really proven player being recycled to some extent, but like at that point, wouldn't you want to just take a risk with like
I think it's just the opposite of that though. I think
But,
it's
like, why?
I think that he just played the whole season. He knows hardpoint at the pro level. They don't have to teach him a lot necessarily, which I think is also another reason where I'm drawing comparisons to the ASIM thing. I just think that they're looking for a player of similar stats, similar impact. Dill probably vouched for him as a player on that ROKKR team, and they just wanted to have to do less work about like the individual player and more just being able to figure out the system within their team.
A
Like,
little bit
if
more
if they
plug and
picked up a
play.
challenger player, they'd have to do so much more work.
But is
But
that
the
a
risk could be
safe
higher
pick,
though. The risk could be higher.
Fame,
Like,
it's pretty safe.
I guess my concern is like someone that is either a 1.25 or a 0.55 isn't a safe pick. Like you're still kind of gambling, like, especially in a tournament that's going to be single a limb, right? You're going GSL to single a limb.
The problem,
I
Pat,
would
is
be picking someone that I know is like a consistent 1.0 in that case.
the issue is that
Curious who their other players
most teams are out scrimming this week, and they come back and they got 2 weeks. And you got to leave pretty early in the week for this event because you got to remember you got to fly across the globe. You get a jet lag. Like you got to be sort of careful of all that. So like you don't really get. They're not going to get like a month boot camp, whatever they pick up. They get 14 scrim days, so 28, maybe 30 something scrims over the course of those days. Like it's just really not that much time.
Yeah,
So
they
I
have
don't-
no time at all, really.
I kind of see the thought process of the Fame thing to Sam's point. Like he kind of understands tendencies of the people in the league and understand the people that they're going to play in their group, and they can kind of quickly adapt and kind of figure things out and go from there.
I guess that leads me to my next question. Like, what are some of these contracts looking like? Are these 14-day contracts? Or these what
I
kind
would
of
have
contracts?
to imagine that they are
Like, there's
Yeah.
no way people are signing like
1+1s
1+1s or 2+1s,
I don't-
right?
I don't think so.
Wow,
Not at all.
I would be
Probably
shocked
not.
otherwise.
I will look into it and I'll find out. But I assume
I mean,
it's
shit. If
short-term
I'm
deals.
Minnesota ROKKR and I got Esriel walking into my camp, I don't know, bro. I might throw him a little 1+1 just to see if he bites.
Yeah, I guess it
All right,
depends.
Israel,
I
I
guess it
wouldn't
depends
sign
on.
that shit, brother. I wouldn't sign that shit.
Wait, I get the
Dangle that
question
shit in
then,
front of him. I don't
and
know.
I'm sure it obviously didn't work out this way, but if you're Esriel and you got offered by this Minnesota team or this Vegas team at the same time, which one would you have chosen?
Vegas
Vegas.
without hesitation.
Vegas.
Yeah, probably Vegas.
That's where I'm confused, right? So why is Esriel on Vegas? Or
Maybe
why is
he didn't
Esriel
even
not
get
on
offered.
Vegas?
Maybe Fame was the only player they trialed.
That would be insane because Esriel is just straight up better than Fame.
I don't know. Ask Attach. He's in the chat.
So Attach,
He won't say- he
why
won't say,
did
but-
you pick up Fame over Esriel?
Wait, what? I mean, what's Esriel's contract? Is he locked up? Like, what's Esriel's situation looking like?
He's on ROKKR now, so clearly it was transferable.
Yeah, I mean, if ROKKR was able to get him, but there's no way Vegas is splurging as much money as the Minnesota ROKKR, Pat. Sure.
But I don't even feel like there was a buyout.
But why? If you're
there was no
on a
buyout?
1 month, if you're on a 1 month contract, who's a fuck about the salary? You get $5,000 a person for showing up to this tournament. Like you're gonna make way more money if you get out of groups and get top 8.
But am I tripping there? Is Esriel not the 10 times better player for this squad than Fame?
Yeah, I mean, we're all in
100%.
agreement for
Esriel's a
that.
great
I know,
player,
P.
yeah.
And would you pick like this Vegas squad with Esriel over whatever team ROKKR could have built? I would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have.
I'm confused. Someone help me. Attach. Where are you at?
Another thing is,
When to call.
this is something else that you can like keep in mind. Some teams were more proactive about getting their EWC roster cemented, that they probably just got to these players quicker and then immediately signed, because I know for a fact that the team that Boston put together signed before champs.
Right,
for
maybe it was
EWC.
too late,
Yeah.
Pat. Maybe Vegas. Maybe once Johnny stepped down and it was too late. Maybe Esriel was gone. He was already signed. That could have
Yeah,
happened.
maybe Johnny was under the impression he was still going up until recent. So
Yeah.
there's just a
Things
lot
could
that
have
can
hit
go
them
into
last
it.
second, right? Like, or it was a contract thing or a money thing, right? Like, it could have been a lot of different things. So we got some questions, Pat. We got some questions. You know,
I got
Yeah.
some questions for sure.
'Cause I agree with you, Pat. I think logically that would have made more sense. But I guess we'll just see if Dylan says something or someone else on the team says something.
yeah. Anybody got anything else to say about the Vegas Legion? in their roster?
No.
No, I think this is an interesting move, but again, I think they're gonna end up being not that good at all three game modes, and probably a weaker hard point. That's gonna be the reason they don't get a groups at EWC, fortunately.
Vegas is one of those teams though, like at least just from their history, they don't spend any money. Like they don't.
Yeah,
like
but
to spend.
again, bro, this is a tournament where you show up, and just for showing up, you get $5,000 each. You get out of groups, you make a lot of coin. Like a 1 month salary should not be the importance here. Being able to get out of groups and making 5 figures should be the importance.
Wait, I
Like,
thought you get 5 figures even if you lose in groups. I thought you
No, you
get
get- no,
5K
you-
even if you lose.
if you show up and win 0 matches, you get five racks. I think if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
win, you probably get like what? I could tell you right now. Let me go on the website.
Is there a difference between like third in groups versus fourth in groups?
Yeah, I'm gonna check right now.
That's actually crazy. So and they get everything paid for, right? All their travel and stuff gets paid for, right? So
Yeah.
Apparently, they get treated like kings out there, bro.
yeah, that's what Hector was saying. Repulse, because they were out there for
Yeah.
Warzone, and he told me, man, they were treating us like absolute kings over there, bro. Like it was crazy.
So last place is 5 racks each.
Thank you, chat.
If you win 1 game, you get 10 racks each.
Damn, one game.
Third in pool.
And if you get out of groups, you get 20.
So you double your basically double your prize every win.
Every win, yeah.
Damn.
That's why I'm saying like the salary should not, unless someone's offering crazy money, it should not be the consideration here because you can a good team and you get to a single elim 18 bracket, you never know what the fuck's gonna happen.
Wait, what's first
Like-
place get you?
It's 600,000, so it's what that far away is.
Nah, I
Yeah,
don't-
150.
Jesus, that's good. That's very good. That's an insane price. That's a great
That's
price.
what we got at 2018 champs.
That's actually crazy. That's actually insane. Bro, it's actually crazy to see. I was talking about this the other day off stream with somebody. I was like, it's actually crazy to see how much prize pools are now compared to back in the day when we were playing. Like, I'm talking about like when I was 18, 19, like we were playing
We were playing for
ballrooms.
Scooby Snacks, bro.
Bro, we were playing in ball. Like I won UMG Dallas, bro, and we made $10,000, $2,500 each, bro. You know what I mean? And bro, I felt like I was on top of the world. You know what I
I
mean?
went to 15 straight grand finals. I couldn't imagine how much that year and a half would have been.
That's what I'm saying now. Like I always see like COD earnings popping up, and I'm like, bro, like one
You get a
event, they
calculator
are
on that for
making
inflation,
so much
That's what I'm
cash now.
saying, Sam. Someone should pay up.
Which is
Just
good. No, and
retroactively,
it's honestly like it's cool to see. Like I'm glad to
It's
see the
interest.
players eating and shit. Like it's cool to see like how far the scene has come since like that just that long
It's a
ago.
shit ton of money, dude.
Which realistically, like that's probably what like 10 years ago. It's really not that long ago. Like you start thinking about like, oh, what's this gonna look like in another 10 years from now, 20 years from now? You start thinking
Yeah,
about
you
it.
saw like a steady incline, and then 2020 hit, and then just fucking insta up.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat said, "Were you a
200%
silver
increase.
surfer, brother?" I won 13 of those 15.
All right, let's move on. It's good work, Slay. It's good work, Pat.
Thank you, Tom.
Good work. Let's move on
that
to
guy
the
Got aim assist
Carolina
on guy in chat.
Carolina
Loved it.
Royal Ravens, folks. They bring on the one and only Mr. Beans. Check it out. They removed Clayster from the roster, correct? They removed Clay. And now it's Benjamin Beans who has been slotted in here.
Toast.
Where's
Uh,
Vance's tweet?
Whose tweet?
Vance's.
Oh, you want me to pull it up? Let me see what's going on. What did Bance say, Pat? What did he say?
You got to pull it up. Tom.
I'm gonna have to pull it up
it's
here.
a quote tweet of this Carolina Royal Ravens tweet.
Okay, is it this right here, Pat? Is it this? He said, thought he was meant to replace Clayster and not eat him as well. That's crazy.
Not
That's
right,
crazy.
Not right.
That was
Uh,
an insane tweet.
That's
bro.
crazy. That's an insane tweet. They're friends, right? They're friends, these guys.
Yeah.
Bro,
yeah.
him, Ben, and
I see
Charlie
Beans
on
making
Twitter
fun of
are
himself. He's
fucking
comedy.
hilarious,
They
dude.
cook
dog.
each other all the time, bro.
Yeah, they are
All they do
comedy.
is
I'm not
cook
gonna
each
lie. They're fucking hilarious. I seen this on the TL. These guys are fucking. They're gonna be a funny team, man. It'll be a funny team. He's teaming up with T Squared, with TJ,
Beans and toast.
Tyler Fellow. Man, this is gonna be a yap squad. They're gonna be yapping on this squad. It's gonna be a good one. I actually think Beans deserve. I thought Beans was like good. I honestly
I'm
didn't.
a big fan of this.
Yeah, I
one.
like
He's
Beans.
just a shooter,
fan.
bro.
He's a
Ben's got
shooter, bro. He is a shooter.
Ben's got one weakness. I thought, again, small sample size of this team, so I'll just keep this in mind. It's like one split of sample size. And I think Doug Lieb had a tweet about this. Respawn, phenomenal. Control, hardpoint. I know Boston sucked ass, but like Beans individually was good. Some questions about a little bit of his S&D production, but Again, small sample size. Don't know if that's due to just the weird nature of the Boston team and how they play. But Carolina's gonna need him to step up in that game mode. That's a big part of their path.
He be making some bonehead decisions, but
Yeah.
also like again, it's just one of those things where it's like you're playing with a team that's just asset search. You're probably just overthinking everything. It probably does you
the 13
does you no
S&D
fa-
losing streak.
yeah,
It made
exactly.
this change. I'm actually surprised they didn't also make one for Fellow.
I mean, it's just too. I think there's just. I think Fellow massively stepped up his game over the last
did,
couple of stages.
But you don't think they should have also tried to upgrade in this role too? If
Nah,
they're
they got to
an
keep some.
upgrade?
Nah, I think. Nah, I think
You
there was
don't
just too much
think-
changes.
You don't think Gwyn and Toast is enough?
Gwyn and Toast.
Gwyn,
No.
Gwyn,
Toast, bro.
Gwyn hasn't been playing like the version
don't
at the
know,
beginning of
Chris.
the season down the
Or
stretch.
fucking Pat.
Bro, even with Clay, bro, their flaw was online, bro. They were so ass online, and then that
terrible
shit,
online.
and then whenever they got to land, Clay played well, and dude, they didn't keep in mind, they didn't qualify, or their chances of qualifying got shattered when Toronto got sent to the loser bracket. Like they or not was it Toronto? Sorry, Toronto got sent to the loser bracket, and Optic also started in losers bracket. Like I get like it was in their control throughout the entire season, but if you're specifically talking about that event, like they just kind of got fucked. Like that's such a bad draw. I get LAG was able to get over that hurdle and get that win, and they were able to qualify for champs, but like they got fucked real bad.
I guess what I'm asking is, I expected Slasher to end up on this team.
No, they need kills.
Yeah, I think being
So
Beans
unless
is the right
Slasher,
fit.
Slashers. No, I'm not saying.
Same for
without
Fellow.
Beans. Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you,
So Slasher
looking for
and
an
Beans? I don't know if I like that.
on paper,
I think
you
Beans could play a little fast.
on paper, bar for bar, like I get why you would say that, but like you obviously like these guys know
I
their
don't know
team,
if I like that.
and they probably were not looking to try to like massively blow up their roster. Like they felt like they were probably one change away from being at least a champs contender, like not champs contender, but like qualifying and just making a run because they've got what a couple top 6 a couple times, right? Like they feel like they could have upset a couple top 4 teams. They never were able to get over that hurdle. They just needed kills, so they probably just went with Beans for that reason.
I feel
And
like
they
this is a slippery
They also did
slope,
trial
Pat.
them. They trialed them, no?
I
Can you go to
think they
my-
did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did trial.
Sam, I trust Austin at a big event, like a one-off big event like this, more than
Yeah,
I
just show up
would
and play.
Fellow.
Yeah.
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 So let's take a look at something real
And
quick.
I think there's
plays
a lot
for-
more that
and
goes
he would
into
play
the
the same
two-man change, though.
IGL lead, and I don't think it would hurt their search. I think Slasher and Tej, like that search combo, it's obviously worked before. They think about shit the same, so I don't know.
But also, like, dude, when it comes down to this team, like if you make 2 changes, they have to massively change the way they play. I feel like
Yeah,
they're
that
gonna.
was
It's
where
gonna
I
be.
was gonna go with it.
They have to massively change it over the span of like 2 weeks. Like that's
Good.
kind of good.
That works sometimes, bro.
I mean, you're
that nice
hoping you get
honeymoon.
lucky.
Tom, can you pull up my screen real quick?
Absolutely.
I want to show something that might help this conversation. So I have a sheet pulled up that shows land stats, and I've highlighted the rows in here, and it'll be a little bit hard to see. So I'll zoom in. And
Rosen?
rows,
The
like
rows
rows in
in
the
the Google
spreadsheet.
Doc.
I thought you
So,
said
DeMar.
DeRozan.
So I got Austin and Fellows. There's full land stats up here. Obviously, Austin didn't play the full season. You see, like hardpoint. Obviously, Austin played amazing in that game mode for Boston, the lanes he went to. But Fellow with the 1.1, like, and just his overall kind of damage stats are pretty good. You see in S&D, Austin was a little bit better than Fellow. But I think in this
A
sort of
little
the issue.
bit.
Yeah, but I want to highlight kind of where I want to go with this. And this is something we need to talk about, I think, in regards to Austin and why I think he also got in trouble with the ATL team is that his biggest shortcoming right now in this version of COD that we play is in control. And it's such an important game mode, a swing game mode. When you think about a team like Carolina, that the Neslo is their best path, it's really hard to pick up a player. And it's not a disrespect to Austin, that just really struggles in that game mode.
Dude,
And
he
so I
got in
think
trouble
that-
with the Atlanta FaZe team because a generational talent was available. Austin was their best player or second best player at the end of the season.
Yeah, and they also said
That's
after the
insane
season,
take.
they could not get on the same page in control. And it's
That's
Well,
fair,
it's
but,
clearly-
like,
That's
that-
what I'm
you
trying
can't
to tell-
throw
I'm
him
just-
the FW2 stray on that one.
I mean, I hear you.
I'm
I
pretty
hear you,
sure
but I'm-
Slasher can work on his control and get it better.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm saying that
and-
he,
and-
it's not.
and-
It's not.
It's just
Yeah,
I don't
I'm not saying he
know-
has
It's
to.
just
Yeah,
insane
he,
stray on
I
Slayer.
don't
The
know
thing is, he
about
has
a
to,
little bit,
100p.
but Austin's like a top 10 S&D player. Like a
100%.
1.23 to a 0.98
It's great.
is a huge
Great.
gap in S&D. That is
It's-
the difference.
What was the last series Austin played? Does anyone have a time for me? It was in like was it May?
It was on that sub base, wasn't it? Where
Ben,
he
you
had,
got those
May,
stats? stats.
It was-
1.7 and lost.
Major two.
I think you guys are.
Major two.
I think you guys are just overlooking it. I feel like they just didn't want to change their entire like team like before the event because they
This
feel like
guy,
they
man.
would have had to start over from like certain aspects of the game, and that would have done them no favors. Will I be surprised?
Huge favors.
Will I be surprised if Fellows not on this team after the season's over, especially if he fails to like perform well, or this team like doesn't get good results at EWC? No, but I mean, you just take such a big gamble if you like blow up your team. When I feel like their team, at least on land, was not a bad team.
Hey Pat,
You
I
know?
have a question. If you're going into a tournament like EWC, would you rather have like not a full system reset, but just like you have to like learn some things going into it. You have minimal practice time, but with like a higher ceiling, or would you rather have like I hate the word familiarity, but like you make like a good change and you show up and like try to maintain that, but upgrade like some weak points in the team?
think
Like you would
I
have
think
more
I-
work to do in the time leading up to it if you made more changes. Is what
I
I'm
think
saying.
I
Like, which
rolled the
roster would you rather
dice.
have?
I rolled the dice and I just put the grind in. I think that's what I do because I know how honeymoon period works. I know where a 2-person change can feel like a roster refresher where everyone is coming with a new, like we've all been in this position where you make one change. Like it's not a huge thing. It doesn't change like the team's mentality the same as doing like a big swap. And I think in this case, they would have been removing their worst 2 players from the team, getting 2 solid upgrades, getting better S&D, and then kind of having a roster refresher, which gives you a honeymoon, and you get 2 guys who are hungry to like prove themselves. Austin's been dropped for the last couple months. Like Beans has been on a dog shit team. I personally would have rolled the dice into an event like this, came in where teams can't really play against you. They're not going to have a lot of knowledge on how you like to play, and you can set a good game plan for 2 weeks. And in my opinion, like you don't lose anything because I think their floor is still the
you're
same.
You're already going in with no expectation anyway.
Yeah, their floor is the exact same. What their
I
floor
just,
doesn't change here.
I
ahead-
was
go ahead,
going to
Chris.
say that it depends on what their goal is. If they're being realistic, they're not going to win the tournament. They're probably banking on getting a top 6 or improving on that and maybe slipping into the top 4. And
But then why
they-
not
and
make
then,
the
and then
change?
listen. With Fellow on their team in Clay, they were pretty much on that margin for the majority of the season at points. They obviously got screwed over at that, or not screwed over, but I mean it's a product of their own fucking demise. But they ended up, playing against Optic and ended up having to play against even like Toronto in the future to qualify for champs. So like that's kind of sucks. But from their perspective, they were almost like a top 6 lock at pretty much every event. And they had Clay on their team. If they're
this-
looking at it from a 1-for-1 upgrade, they might think that Beans is going to push them over that
What?
edge to get to.
I don't like
either
the conversation of they were a top 6 lock because if you go and look, like they were just bullying LAG in Miami and loser bracket or whoever.
That's
whoever
every
they
team.
had.
That's
That's
every
every-
team.
it's
Yeah,
every
Every
team,
team was
we're in a
doing that to get to that
completely
point.
different format. You're in a group play, so I'm assuming this team makes it through groups. I think they can beat a challenger team and they can beat one of the other bottom 6 teams in
We
the
should
league.
segue into the groups.
Which is
then if we're gonna
exactly how you
start the
get top
convo.
6 at a
Yeah.
fucking event. Like, what are you saying, Pat? It's
No,
exactly the same strat.
But I'm saying, like, if to Chris's point, he's like, oh, they're guaranteed, they're going for top 6 again. Either roster change you make, you're probably going to get top 6.
Not
so why not
necessarily.
make them, bro? They're beating the challenger
Because
team and they're beating one of the other bad teams.
If they have to start over and progress in certain aspects, like there could be a world where they don't mesh as well as they did with at least 3/4 of their team. Like they actually could run into that issue. Like just because they one for
That's
one
never
upgrade,
happened, bro.
that's not true at all. Just you can look at rosters on paper and be like, wow, this team should be good, and then they spawn in and they fucking just have no idea what the fuck is going on. Like, or they just
I
they
could
don't mesh.
easily see
Why-
them
why
beating
would
Lore
you-
Gaming and this Legion squad with Fame.
Well, Lord
any-
just
anyone.
won Challenger Champs, so with
Yeah,
Alec
but
and
Lord
Paul,
can't-
and they definitely
yeah.
shoot straight.
Yeah,
And
but they
Lore-
won
Lore-
3
And by the
SMGs.
way,
Lore-
Lore is
they
very
won-
good at
yeah.
search.
They
So-
won. Yeah, they won off S&Ds. Guess what game mode you restart in whenever you basically make a ton of changes.
Region is
It's
or
search.
Ravens is running them in 1.
Yeah,
3, and
search
4.
is the hardest thing to do with a new team, I think.
I just think, listen, I hear you, Pat. Like, I do think at some point, like, there's going to be an upgrade path for Fellow. But realistically, for this Carolina team, first off, Gwynn's got to play better on land. He was great online this year, but Lanny's been super inconsistent. And I think it was unfortunately part of the reason they didn't qualify for champs. Second, like, I just don't think Fellows played poor enough at land to, like, really just kind of drop him like that. You
Hold
drop
on.
him, you burn that bridge.
Who
And then Gratz
drew
is only-
these groups? Why is the number 1 seed going into Group A? Why would they not go to Group D?
So can I explain this real quick, Pat?
Yeah, explain this because how does this work?
So there was the way that this whole thing was shaping out is there was a qualifier for the Middle East based on that fit spot. And in that rule set, it listed out how the groups were drawn. Unfortunately, the rules were very vague. So Turtle's making a bunch of assumptions here. Basically, the way it was worked is that teams 1 through 8 at Champs would be seeded according to their placement. It didn't specify how 7th and 8th and 5th, 6th tiebreaker would work, but we can assume it's either head-to-head or placement in the season. So that kind of explains how Seattle is 7th.
All the CDL spots make sense to me. Regardless,
the challenger ones are a little bit more of an assumption. I think Turtle's assumption is that it would sneak back around, but we just don't know.
I think in order for them to balance the groups,
challenger 1 would not go into. Like one would have 16, and 16 would be challenger 4.
Well, that all depends on how they weight the challenger competition in terms of the seeding. Like
it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. In a 6, you would.
Well, they can make it whatever they want, Pat.
No. But I'm saying like you would seed 1 through 12. In this case, 1 through 11, and then you would seed 1 through 4. But it would 1 would become the 12th seed, not the.
Well, the problem is what's complicating this is in the MENA qualifier they said for sure MENA team was going into Group D. So I think Turtle's making the assumption it sneaks back around. I agree with you, Pat. It should go the other way.
Pat,
but we just don't know.
That's how it should. If they're not doing it like that, then what are they doing?
We just don't know. We just don't know.
But it should be. You should just slot just slot them in accordingly based on their placing. You just continue it from the franchise teams.
Bro, like if they're
because
doing
they would then assume the 12th seed.
If they're putting the MENA team in D, like it could just be like regional cheese. Like obviously, like they want the team that's in from the MENA like region to not get fucked. Like it just gives them a better chance to make a run. That could also be like not rigging it, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I think Falcons is fucked in that group anyway because
but like they have 2 challenger teams in there technically. Falcons is a challenger team.
All right, who is Clutch Rain?
Yeah, who's on Clutch Rain?
Clutch Rain is
Clutch Rain is that Team War like Bance?
Yeah,
that's Bance and them.
Correct.
Bro, that's the crazy thing about this. You guys know this, right? So, Falcons won a challenger elite. Like Falcons is like not like the worst CDL or not challenger team like at all either. So like
they're probably solid, but you think they're beating 100T or FaZe?
No, but like at least here it gives them a chance to win a game.
The problem, Chris, is that I think I watched a lot of Falcons this year, and I especially watched their elite win. They were very good, at least in Europe. They were very good at online S&D squad. The way they were winning, they were basically going to 5, and they were like stealing a hard point. I think the problem when you look at Group D is like Thieves are actually a very good S&D team, and so is FaZe. So I just think that path forward for Falcons, because they're not like the world's most amazing hardpoint team, is just going to be really tough.
Well, Falcons literally beat Clutch Rain, War, whatever in the elite. I don't know if it was before War changes or their current team, but Falcons literally won an elite off beating that team. So I don't know if they want their team to do well, and like obviously up to the way they do the seedings is kind of up to them, I guess. Like this would probably be the easiest bracket for them in comparison to maybe the other ones.
Sam, what do you think about the groups?
What, me?
Yeah, they're calling for you, Sam. They're calling for you in the chat.
I was just curious if you guys thought that any CDL teams would lose to any challenger teams.
Whoa, I mean,
yeah,
there's a world.
100%. There's a world where somebody loses to a challenger team.
Heretics.
What do you guys think is the? I think it's the FC Blackpool. No, genuinely no bias whatsoever.
It's
FC
A and C.
By the way, we cannot go to Saudi with FC Black. We can't use
the Stallions.
Yeah, it's got to be the Stallions. It's got to be.
Stallions coming.
They won't even let us use FC, which kind of sucks.
Is it because of FaZe?
Yeah, because it's a FaZe team and it's too similar, so they need us to change the name. So we're going with the Stallions.
Honestly, bro, I don't mind Group B and D specifically because Breach is pretty much an entire challenger roster with Snoopy. Heretics, I guess they do have a lot of experience in the CDL now, and they didn't place bad at the champs, so like that's kind of scary. But Heretics was pretty much an entire challenger team prior to like any of them like getting in the league. Like they were all in challengers like what, a year ago, like for the most part.
And that's your argument for Group C?
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, how many challenger players are on all these fucking squads?
Well, no, but they're like full on challenger teams.
No, I will say that
literally
they played a whole year. They just played a whole year and qualified for champs.
Okay,
what are you
that's the thing. That's the thing is though.
There's 6 challenger teams at EWC.
Hold on. Listen to me here, Ben. That's 1 year of experience, pretty much for the most part, for their entire roster outside of what fucking Vickle, who's
Yeah, but they
been
know
on
these
it
player
since.
they know these,
Okay,
they know the
listen,
meta, these
listen.
player
You're not letting me
tendencies and all
finish.
that. Go ahead.
When it comes down to it,
The
FaZe
Yap
Black,
Haggy show, bro.
FaZe Black is basically in the same bubble.
No way, Ben
Outside
said
of
that.
Rex, Asim was in the league for a bit. He's had stints. Brack was
Bro,
in the
what
league
am
for
I
a bit.
hearing?
Exceed's been in the league. So from a experience perspective, they're relatively the same in terms of XP. How are you going to say that's not true? Granted, if you want to use their recent performance as like a metric, yeah, you can. But I'm saying like from a experience perspective, it's not like they're going against fucking FaZe and Optic and like, you know what I'm saying? It gives them a chance.
But Tom, you know
What is
that
with this
button
Miami?
you
What
had?
is this insane Miami disrespect I'm hearing? Where the fuck did
That's
this
not
come
disrespect.
from? No, you
I'm
are
saying-
disrespecting, bro.
I'm
What am
saying
I
if you're
hearing right
looking,
now?
I'm saying if you're looking at it player per player, like these are people that they probably played literally last year in challengers.
Brother, Vic
Are you
was
fucking dumb?
Vic was in the league last year too. Like, what?
Yeah,
are
he's the only one. Rial was in challengers, and Lucky and Menace were both in challengers last year.
Why is
What are you saying?
bro? Listen, I think Tom, can you bring the groups back up real quick?
Absolutely.
How
wanna-
is
I
this
wanna-
a faded take? 3 of the Miami Heretics were in challengers the entirety of last year.
Yeah, but hold
same
on.
with all of FaZe Black. They were playing them at tournaments.
Hold on.
Granted, they've had success in the league.
Okay.
Bar for bar, player for player, they probably understand
M
these
for M.
players more than if they fucking played against Optic, brother. How are you arguing this?
Listen, so here's my feel on it. Obviously, Miami have been a fairly cohesive team all the year, other than sort of sojourn with Journey. Obviously, they brought in Real. I think talent-wise, Miami is better than Boston and potentially better than FC Black. And I think the key thing is Miami's been playing Pro COD literally all year. They know all these player tendencies. And by the way, Miami has played great down the stretch at the pro level. You know, why are you? I just don't see how Miami and Toronto get upset in this
You're
group.
saying that these players are better talent per talent because you've seen them in the league this entire time. But do you realize that when all of those Miami players were in challengers playing for the respective teams, they were losing to players on FaZe Black? You do know this, right?
No, I'm aware.
So yes, they got that year of experience on
I'm
them,
aware.
but it's not like the FaZe Black people are literally not
The Stallions.
former Stallions. Sorry, the Stallions are not former pros as well. From a case scenario,
Yeah,
these guys
I'll
are
explain my
far
problem in a
more.
second.
These guys are far more familiar with playing players on the Heretics than they would be if they played against fucking what is it called, Optic or Ultra or Thieves,
you
like you know what I'm saying,
Listen,
or even
I
Legion, even Legion,
kind of spinning.
even
two
Legion,
things,
even
two
Legion.
things.
Sorry,
Two things. Did you watch FC Black last weekend?
The
in Challenge, right?
Stallions.
I don't give a fuck. That's
That-
not what I'm saying.
No,
I'm
no,
not
but
saying
answer
off
the
of their
fucking-
current. I'm not
answer the
saying from a.
question. Answer
I'm
the
not.
question.
Listen, I don't care. Listen, I'm not
No,
saying from
I
a.
care because
You're
you're
not-
not
wait,
my
wait,
point.
I'm not saying because you were
You can say whatever you want.
You can say whatever the fuck you want.
There's a
You're
Chris
wrong.
Yap show. You're just not going to let anyone talk, bro.
It's not. There's no debate, brother. These guys
There
literally
is a
are
debate. I'm
used to
trying to
playing
debate
this
it with
team.
you.
Bro, FaZe. If
What?
Yo, Chris, yo, chill. Yo, Chris, you're crashing out. Hey, Chris, you're crashing out. You're crashing out. You're crashing out. You're crashing out.
Can we make Haggy crashes out the fucking title?
No,
of
he's
this
crashing
episode?
out, bro. He's crashing out. All right,
This
Ben,
is
Ben,
the
I'm gonna
best-
give Ben. I'm
this
gonna
is
give
the
you
best
one.
group
I'm gonna
for
give you
FaZe
1
Black
minute to
Stallions.
rebuttal. I'm gonna give you 1
Okay.
minute to rebuttal here.
So here's my deal with FC Black. I think they're a very talented team, and other than this last event, they made the finals at every LAN this year in Challengers, which is really typical. Obviously, they had one where they got reverse swept, but that's tough. The problem with this for that event for them, from when I watched them, is that the S&D was sort of their shortcoming. The next 2 weeks they need to figure it out because I think there's opportunity. Toronto can be a little bit inconsistent on LAN in that game mode. Miami, I think, has actually been pretty good at search, and you have no idea what we're going to get from this Boston team. So if FC Black can improve their S&D, I think they have a chance. But if they play the way they played at finals, bro, why
Dang.
what
They
you
have a-
auto-tune on? What do you?
man.
What the fuck was that?
My
What
point
the
is.
fuck was that?
My point is, out of all the challenger teams at the bottom of the board, at the bottom of the groups,
Yeah.
this is the best. This is the team that has the biggest
fuck.
chance of getting out. This is the this is the
I
team
agree,
that has the
Chris.
best chance
Chris,
of
I
getting out.
agree.
And that is literally all I've been trying to say.
Don't know if I agree. I don't know if
How-
I agree.
Whoa!
All right, well, it
Reach
doesn't
is-
matter. You
Reach
guys
is
said what you had
literally
to
a
say.
team.
Because I think Group A, I think Optic will obviously get out.
Hey!
I think Group A, but obviously Optic will get out. But if you look at the Vegas making a change, playing with essentially a stand-in for the event, because I expect they'll try to run back with Johnny, and then you have whatever the fuck is going on with the Carolina situation. They've been like super inconsistent. The last time we saw them at LAN, they had a real disappointing losers bracket. the way that Lore played at this Challengers event, especially in Search, gives him a real chance in Group A. And by the way, there's a lot of experience on that Lore team. There's a lot of people that have been in the Pro League with Paul, with Alec, and so I think they have a real chance.
Black, brother. What
I
are
know,
we
that's what
fucking saying,
I know,
brother?
I
You
know.
act like they are
Damn,
amateurs.
Chris. Damn.
Bro,
One of the
Ben-
biggest, like,
Tommy's really passionate about this.
He's
challenge.
so
Nah,
passionate about this. I love
I
it,
know
though.
he's just so he's
I
just
love
so
the
laser
passion.
focused,
I
but
love
he's
the
not listening
passion.
to what I'm saying. He's just crashing out this episode, bro.
No, it's crashing out, bro. You're just so.
My point is, I think actually the Challenger scene that's gonna go through is Group A and Lore.
Who do
I
you
mean,
think?
yeah, I mean,
Carolina or
but
Vegas.
Okay, I will say both of them have a chance. There you go. There you go. I'll give it to you.
I don't like Omid Brooklyn in that Group B situation, and Group D I think is FaZe.
All right, let's move on. Best team in the what do you think is not best team, best group? What do you think is the best group, most well-rounded overall group? What do you think is the most overall
B.
well-rounded? I'm thinking. You
Like
think
A.
B?
Actually, no. What am I
A.
saying? Sorry. Nah, A, and C.
gonna say, I
the
don't
two-
think
the
B at
two
all.
ones that- They're the
Yeah, I
most
agree.
competitive. They're the most competitive. A and C.
I'd probably. I think C is gonna get real interesting. I think C is gonna get really
I
interesting.
really
If D didn't
No
have
bias,
another
Tom, no
Challengers
bias,
team, I
Tom.
would say
No,
D.
I think Optic's gonna. I think they're gonna smooth sail through their group, and I think Legion. Like I don't know if Lore's gonna be able to make moves there. I don't know. We'll see.
The only thing for Group A, Tom,
I think Group A is good. I don't think it's as well rounded as we think.
is just Optic locking back in. They're doing their deserved victory lap this week, but like
Oh,
gotta
they're
lock back
coming
in
out with
practice.
ultimate confidence.
Yeah,
bro.
that's what I'm saying.
They
Like
are
they
gonna
can't
have
get
so
they,
much
they
confidence.
can't come
They're
out
about to be
slow.
dolphin diving.
It doesn't
That's what I'm
matter
saying. They
what
gotta be
they
careful
do.
in that
They
first
won
matchup.
champs, right? So it's like,
I
bro,
know you don't
they're
want to
gonna
come out and
be
lay, you don't want to come out and
delusional.
lay an egg against Alec and them who have a
Yo,
fucking something to
Tom,
prove in
I
that
would-
matchup.
I would
Optic
suck
not
my own
making it out of
balls.
group.
Bro, Pat, why are you
Whoa.
Bro,
talking
stop,
like that,
Pat.
bro?
Jesus fucking
That's
Christ.
insane. I would suck
Guy's
my
got
own
more
balls
echo
to
than
be a
his
fly
actual
on the wall in their practice room first day back in scrims.
Oh yeah, they're
dude,
gonna be
oh.
delusionally confident.
I've
It's
heard
gonna be
like
great.
post event winning scrims, but post champs winning scrims.
Oh, that's gotta be nuts. I've never heard that in my life.
They should stream
Oh my
scrims.
god.
The only
They
thing-
should
listen,
stream scrims. That would
well,
be
they were talking
godlike
about
content.
it. Ant was talking about it. They said they might stream with no comms. But to my point, like again, you just gotta professionally lock back in after this week and practice hard for 2 weeks because you know that Alec and them are going to watch all this film. They're going to prepare. Again, I highlighted the fact that they're like a very good S&D squad. So matchup wise, there's some opportunity there. I thought they could
JP
play really
said
good
Damon
search.
Yeah, you
for
saw
him.
JP. He said Damon's gonna spawn
Damon
in.
spawning in no cap.
That'd
If
be
they lock back
comedy.
in, they're fine. If they don't, then this group could get real interesting at the top.
I think it's pretty straightforward if I'm being honest.
It should be
That
straightforward.
group.
It should be straightforward.
I don't know. I think all the groups are like pretty good. I just
Pat-
wish the Group D had another fucking
Sam.
LA or CDL
Nah,
team, man.
Group D's a
Another
walkover.
CDL
FaZe-
team, yeah.
FaZe got
Yeah.
very
That
FaZe
group
got
could
very
be
lucky.
So good.
FaZe got very lucky with their draw, considering they got top 6.
Pat, I wanted to ask you what you think the best group is.
Who's on Omit Brooklyn again?
It's Alex team.
No,
No,
Alex team
no,
is
no,
Lore.
Alex Lore.
Omit Brooklyn is Frosty, Fire, Spart, and Pro League.
Yeah, Alex team is Lore.
Yeah.
All right, well, I would have said
Those get
them,
mixed
but
up.
never mind. I'm gonna say group. I mean, dude, honestly, I think Group C is gonna be the most interesting. So I'm gonna say
Yeah.
they're the most balanced because, yeah, I think Optic's gonna run Group A. Group C, like aside from Ultra, I don't know who's getting out.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. I think Group
I mean,
B
you could say
could
the
be
same thing
interesting
about
too.
Ava.
I just don't know how I don't know how. I mean, we'll see. I expect Surge and Cloud9 to probably come out of that. It's so
I'm still
it's so weird
surprised.
seeing Cloud9,
And
bro.
this-
It's throwing me off.
And this assumes this is right. If this is changed, it would then mean that Lore Gaming is in Group D.
D.
So that could be interesting.
Yeah, that could get kind of interesting.
That would
I don't
definitely
know,
be interesting if they get into Group
the
D.
only way the Group C to me gets interesting is if Miami loses to Boston, because Miami's actually last couple lanes been like pretty good
Rafi
against
is in chat,
against against
the
the
owner of Omit,
top
and
4
he
teams.
says
Yeah,
that
Rafi
it
says
has
it's
changed.
updated.
Yeah.
Has changed.
So what if FC Black is in Group B? Then
Hold
that
on,
would be kind of.
Oh,
Hold on,
we gotta
Rafi-
change. Rafi's in the chat.
Rafi, what has changed?
I assume it's what I said, right? Number 1 is number 12.
Did it flip?
The new
Interesting.
one.
Where can I find the new one? Omid Brooklyn roster change drops us. What?
So you're now
Did you guys
third.
lost
Okay,
your seating
so go-
because
so-
of the roster change?
yeah, go back to the so them and FaZe Black of Stallions have swapped spots. What he's saying. So go
Wait,
back
but-
to it, Tom.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta go
Why-
back.
why
I
would-
exited out by accident.
Why would Lore Gaming stay in A though?
because they won fucking Challenger Champs.
Which should mean they would be Group D, not Group A.
Well, Group D is going to be the MENA qualifier. That is 100p, like per the rules. So it's the only A, B, and C that we're talking about here. So to what Rafi's saying, shout Rafi. That's a good fucking guy there. Gives back lots to the community. Mid and Stallions would switch. So Stallions now be in the group with New York, Seattle, and Minnesota.
Wait, that makes no sense though. If you win Challenger Champs, you're the number 1
Yeah,
seed.
you should go to Group C. I don't disagree with you.
Would be you'd be the 12th seed.
Yeah, and you should go, okay.
Which gives you Group D.
But the
seed.
way the rules are set is that MENA qualifier 100% goes into Group D. So if you want to do the reverse snake, your idea, then they should actually go into Group C for the rules.
Then it still wouldn't matter if okay, let's say the Team Falcons is still Group D. Lore Gaming should be Challenger 1, Seed 12 in Group D. I don't understand why we're mixing this up. Lore Gaming would be in Group D. Omit Brooklyn would be in Group C. FC Black would be in Group B, and Clutch Rain would be in Group A. That's how it should work.
Do you want to snake the other way with Clutch Rain going in
It's
into
not a
Group A?
snake.
That's not a snake. That's not good. It's going in order. It's literally going in order.
16 in A, 2 and 15 in B.
Yeah, if you win Challenger Champs, you become the 12th or the 13th seed, or in this case, the 12th because we're missing one.
You're just adding
seed.
the challenger placings on top of the franchise teams placings. You're just stacking on top of them. You're just keeping the choo choo train going. It makes 100%. That's how it should be.
That's the way it should work. Rafi, is that how you think it's gonna work? If you guys ask,
I don't know how it's actually gonna work.
Yeah.
Rafi, what do you got for us, Rafi?
Mega changes a lot.
Is it not ESL that's running this, bro? Like this isn't anything
It
new.
is
ESL has done this.
It is essentially ESL. The problem is the rules are just. I'll be honest. The MENA qualifier rules, I could probably link it to you, or there's just not a lot there.
Yeah, but either way, it should be Falcons is the same in Group D, but Lore Gaming is with them, and then what? Omit Brooklyn is still the same seed, right? They don't change here. They would be just Group C. Like,
Well, they said they changed because of the roster change, no?
But why would they change seeding because of an org change or whatever?
According to their owner, they did. So I'm going to take his word.
Turtle sent me a new image. Tom,
Either way, Challenger 1 would be.
I'm going to pull it on my Discord stream real quick, Tom. If you want to pull it up.
Yep, no problem. Once you got it up, I'll switch on over.
I'm trying not to leak my DMs. There you go. You can switch over now.
Absolutely. All right, so these are new groups.
Pat, still correct to you? Based on what you're saying, this is what you would think it would go?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks right to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody in the chat was asking, why does Group A have only one challengers team? But that's just how it works. I guess that's just how.
Well, ideally, every team would.
Three pools only have one challenger team.
No. The only reason there's even 3 challenger teams is because LAG pulled out,
right?
Not counting Falcons.
Right.
So now, if these are the groups, first off, Group B becomes
F11, Benya.
pretty interesting.
Yeah, B is actually going to be.
Yeah, I can full screen for you.
I think Stallions could beat both those teams.
C, I mean, Omit's got upset potential. Coach Rain's gonna smoke the Group A.
I just don't like how they weighted the MENA team. Like in theory, in order to make this the fairest groups, wouldn't like the
They should go to.
They should, but again,
they should go to Optic's pool, correct? Clutch Rain should be in D if like they were weighted the weakest.
Yeah.
Yeah, because technically the Team Falcons team didn't even qualify for Challenger Champs. Like they should be weighted like the weakest out of all of the teams. Not
listen,
Clutch Rain.
I'll say is the first iteration of this event. I agree with you guys, but I think
they're rigging it.
There's a little bit of Saudi cheese going on here, so we'll see if it works out for that.
You think they're rigging it?
No, I mean either way, bro.
I don't think they're rigging it because I think Thieves is a really not a great draw for Falcons. It's a point I made earlier. Like Falcons needs to play against teams that are like kind of iffy in S&D they can steal a control off of and like try and win 2 S&Ds. I don't think you're going to do that against FaZe or Thieves.
Funny enough, regardless of what they were doing,
or Lore,
they kind of got fucked here because of how Champs played out with 4-5 being 100 T in FaZe.
Yeah, no, they got screwed.
Yeah, I think overall though, this tournament is gonna be fucking lit. I feel like EWC is just gonna. I don't know why. I just feel like some crazy shit's gonna happen.
I hope so.
Well, looking at these groups now, I take it back. I really, I don't know if any challengers teams get out. Stallions maybe best chance to be.
Yeah, Stallions have a good chance against Surge because Surge is. Yeah, I mean Surge is never know.
Wait, pull it back up.
Yeah. Let me put Ben. Keep it up. Yep, you got it up. Here it
Is
comes.
there any world that you see Lore upsetting Hunter T?
Yes, depends on how they show up.
Like if they caught him in both S&Ds and want to respawn, like just
I mean, bro, I'm gonna go. I'm
find
gonna
out
go.
hardpoint.
I
Nice
just don't
I'm
see
gonna go-
Thieves
I'm
losing
gonna
two
go ahead.
searches.
I'm gonna go ahead and use the same argument that I used against the Heretics. Lore is essentially, they're obviously a challenger team with some pro experience. Thieves, they have a year of pro league experience now under the belt, some with 2. But for the most part, relatively young team against another relatively young team in terms of experience. So they have a chance. Thieves just obviously they've been playing against pro competition and they just recently got 4th of champs. But it's the same argument, bro. Like you never know. Like they could just show up and not play their best COD and Lore could come out frying, and they won champs off Neslos. So you never know.
Yeah, anything can happen realistically. All right, you guys want to answer some questions for the community? Unless you guys got anything else to say on Rostermania, EWC, anything to say at all, gentlemen?
I think we'll wait for final confirm of groups and then the schedule. So once we have that, guys, we'll cover that for you. Probably on the show, I would assume after our award show next week.
All righty, let's switch on. Let's move on over to the ZooMAFIA community. You guys came in, you asked some questions. Some of them were shit, some of them were okay, some of them were good. Let's answer the first one. This one's coming in from Records. He said, "Who is the Mount Rushmore of dog shit this season?" Mount Rushmore of dog shit is crazy. That is fucking crazy.
Got RX,
Purge,
Wake, bro.
yeah, maybe. Well, I'm trying to think of others.
Pentagram.
Pentagram. No. Hold on. Honestly, I mean, I feel bad because Major
Ace
Maniac.
and
They're
Barely
saying
played.
Asim. They're saying
Major-
Asim.
Major Maniac and probably
They're on
Asim?
Asim's
Major-
head.
Major Maniac was pretty bad. He only
Major
played one
Maniac?
stage. He was
Jesus, that
pretty
team is
bad.
insane.
I mean,
Are we doing a role base? Let's do a role base. Let's do 2 subs and 2 ARs. So, got
How
RX
are we
AR.
Got RX and
Purge is a sub. Who's the other AR? Major. It's got to be Major Maniac.
By Mike or I think
bro,
we'll put Mike
Wake.
over
Nah, it's
Adam.
got to be Wake. He played so many more games than Major
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Maniac
mean,
did.
yeah,
Wake.
but
Wake actually didn't play
did.
that bad in Respawn.
He did. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I'm
So
not listening
What?
to this.
Am I
I'm not
watching-
listening
did
to
I
this.
watch
I'm not
the
listening to
same
this.
thing?
He
I
averaged
mean-
a 0.7.
Bro, it's close.
It is
Assault-
Bro,
close.
Mike played one
Oh,
stage. Wake played
assault
what?
stats
2
were pretty bad
two?
too. But at
one
least
thing we know
they
for
placed
sure is
well,
God
man.
RX. Is that one thing we
Yeah.
know for
Wait,
sure?
what about Alec?
I mean, he just won Challenger Champs,
so
so.
many-
Yeah, I know, but like we're talking about in the pro league, bro.
This is some absolute hating. I love
Are
it.
we? Are we?
This
Does this season mean
this is
just the pro
hatred
league, or is this
Yeah,
everything?
segment.
Super hatred.
I think it's just pro league, bro. CDL.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we got.
Oh,
Let's.
Assault too.
I feel like this would
We
be
have
fun
too
if we
many
did it the other
choices.
way around, though. Who would be the Mount Rushmore of this season? The best players. Who would be the Mount Rushmore?
Hydra, Simp, Shotzi, Scrappy. Right?
Yeah.
You're putting 3 subs.
So you just did the team. You did
okay,
the.
no, we're
you
still
did
not
the-
doing-
running
we're not-
you did the
we're not doing
superstar
role
thing.
base.
We're not doing role based.
Nah, I think there should be the 4, and Tim just runs a flex. It is what it is. Move
If
on.
we're doing
They,
role
re-
based,
they
it's
really
different.
want us to make a dog shit Mount Rushmore. I didn't want to, you know what I mean? If you guys really, all right, got our XR main AR. Actually, he was kind of, I don't know, what's he? Yeah, he was an AR, right? For
Yeah,
sub.
okay, wait, hold on. Godarix was on the team for one stage, no? It was one stage, right? Okay, one
Yes.
stage and okay. So if we're doing one
Oh, yeah,
stage,
true.
if we're doing one stage, we have to
Good
do one
comms.
stage for other people.
That's good comms.
So Major Maniac's gotta be second, bro. That stage was pretty bad on Boston,
Bro, is it insane that I don't even remember how he played?
bro. Bro,
I got
memory hold the
so,
shit out of it.
I got
It-
so fed
There's
up.
been a lot of COD
No,
this,
no, no,
this,
no,
this
listen,
year. There's been a lot of
Boston
COD.
playing
Sam.
from a statistical standpoint,
Been a lot
it
of
was
COD,
so-
man.
From a
I was
stats
so-
from a stats standpoint, it was so bad. He quote tweeted it and was like, "Yo, real ones know these cards don't mean nothing because they were bad."
Oh fuck, he's defending the Lion
Yeah,
Man.
he
He's
was
got to be
defending the
first team
Lion
all
Mans.
dog shit.
Exactly, it was so bad.
They really want me to say Asim really bad. They want me to say it.
Was Asim terrible on Boston? I don't think he was bad on
They
Boston,
got
was
their
he?
pitchforks out. They're throwing
was bad
tomatoes
on
and
Vegas.
shit.
on
I'm
Boston and
dodging shit.
horrific on Vegas.
Oh man,
Yeah,
it's
he
getting
wasn't bad on
rowdy.
Boston, but he was horrific on Vegas. But there's people that were horrific, literally for whoever they played for, bro.
He was really bad though.
Asim had a really tough stint. He had a really tough stint. He might be up there. I'm down to throw him in there. We could throw him in there.
Too many
I'm doing
players.
GodRX, Major Maniac, Purge, and then Asim, I guess.
Damn, I bet Vegas.
Vegas,
The Vegas
really
Legion.
featuring quite a few people in
I
there.
fault Vegas.
You know what I
Eric
mean?
Booms was pretty bad too, but I just don't really remember it too much.
I remember Eric Boom shitting on FaZe one time.
Yeah, so he can't be on there.
Yeah, no. They
On to the
really
next one.
they really want me to cook. They really want me to cook Asim. They really want it. I mean, they're saying Asim shit. He's not saying it. He played like, bro. I already said Asim played like shit this year when he was playing. I already said that, right? You want me to keep fucking kicking a horse?
No,
again?
but
You
he-
didn't play.
All right,
But
next question, bro. We gave you 4.
But like a bunch of players we named, they're going to be at EWC and they got an opportunity.
Yeah,
Where
they got
been
another
forced to have a
opportunity in
strong
there.
end of the season.
No,
and,
Afro wasn't that bad because
see what
Afro
happens.
literally was good in search at least.
Well, little Jerry, I don't think you're watching the episodes, little Jerry.
Afro
You're just
was
not listening.
Not
Fuck you,
particularly
Jerry.
fun though, but whatever.
All right, let's move on. You want to do the opposite way around too? The best you took the superstar team, Chris. You took the
Was
the
that-
All-Star
was
team.
that, was that,
It's the
was it
W
really? I
All-Star
don't
team.
remember.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're
WC.
doing, but that was that role based? It was role based.
No, there's
right?
more questions, Chad.
Nah,
The more
fuck-
questions.
it wasn't.
fuck the role base because Chris could run a flex and they'd be a dominant team. Like, move on, bro.
I mean, this guy's just sucking dick. All right, let's be honest.
Whatever,
We're
bro.
gonna do.
I need a haggy bad 1v1.
I mean,
No, actually, they've been cooking each other all
Chris
day.
is just in a
Bro, I'm not
weird
gonna
They've been
lie.
cooking each other all day,
No.
bro.
Honestly, if we're counting champs, I'm saying Hydra and Shotzi over Simp. If we're taking 2 subs, if we're counting champs, because I weight champs so highly. If it was preseason Mount Rushmore, then I wouldn't have said Amp.
Bro,
But
there is
if
no
we're-
way we don't take the MVP.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
bro,
man.
I don't care.
That's
I don't care.
insane.
If we're waiting champs, I'm not taking Chris.
And we can wait champs all day. Guy's the MVP of the whole year.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I'm just saying if we're taking champs, I would rate Hydra and Shotzi higher.
The question isn't about champs. It's about the whole year. Am I listening to the same thing?
Yeah, but champs weighs into that, and I weigh
For
it
sure
I
it's
weigh it
weighted
higher.
heavily.
What about you guys? What do you guys think?
I think you need to stop arguing with everybody on every segment of the fucking episode, Chris.
No,
What do you mean?
Jesus
My
Christ.
job is to fucking argue, not to sit here and just argue with everyone.
It's
Or
been
not
the- it's
argue.
been the
My
Hacky
job is to
Crack
argue,
Code
not to
episode.
sit here and fucking agree with everyone, bro.
I hear you. You're
Chad,
just
this
trying
is
to
why
take
you
every
don't
argument.
play
Yo,
MW3
Sam, Tommy,
ranked play.
Sam,
This
Tommy,
is what it
you
does
have
to you.
thoughts.
Fucking trying to let it
Who
all
are
out
you
during
two-
the show.
who are you
I
two
opened
big-
All right,
who are you
stop,
two big
relax.
subs?
All right,
Just
relax.
let me
Playing
win out and just let these
Invasion.
two go at it, bro.
Yo, who are you two? Who would your subs be?
I want to
was
hear you.
watching
Counting
opinion.
champs.
Haggy play Invasion Control
Counting
earlier,
champs.
chat. This
Yes,
is what it
counting
does.
champs.
Like Mount
What would you
Rushmore,
say?
best of the best.
Best and the best, 2 subs right now from counting champs.
Hydra.
Hydra Simp.
If you don't say Shotzi, you're insane.
It would
His champs
probably be
performance and
if
major
if we're
performance.
counting champs, it's probably Hydra Shotzi. 100%.
Thank you.
Shotzi was insane. Shotzi was
was
insane,
insane,
and
Chad.
so and Paco's got to be in there for sure. 100
Paco's
million
a
percent
lock.
for sure.
It's just how you want to rate Chris and Ant.
It's just it's more so how much you weight champs, bro. The way I've always seen it with COD, and every player will tell you this, you could win whatever major you want. But at the end of the day, if you don't win champs, your year almost is like forgotten. Like
Nah, not at
that's
all.
why-
Not at
That
all.
used to be true. That's
it
not
used to be true,
anymore,
but I
Chad.
still think it's
Nah.
pretty true.
Events like
Champs is
Bro.
everything, bro.
I thought Simp was 100%
back
MVP
then
of the whole season. 100%. I have no
Why
argument
is-
there. But if we're counting champs, I feel like we're weighing out champs and shit. Overall, lookout of the year. I mean, I would probably have Shotzi up there for sure.
back in the day, champs was like 20 times prize money of an event, a regular event. That's just not the case anymore.
I mean, that's from a prize money perspective, but from a prestigious perspective, champs is just like everything for most players.
But
Yeah,
then
don't
it's
talk
not.
about
It's
that.
not
Let
like
me-
they didn't
That's
win
how people
before
look at it.
champs either. It's their second event win this year. They won 2 events.
Correct.
Shotzi
yeah.
was incredible at both those events, and I think at champs, I think at champs, like he did the impact he was having on the map, bro. I think it'd be crazy not to put Shotzi up
I
there.
just think
He deserves to be up
whatever
there,
other
100%.
AR you're gonna name, Chris is probably gonna be better.
And
than
Paco's the
Chris.
hard carry. Do we even have to sit here and argue Paco, bro? This guy's literally the hard carry. You know? what I
No,
mean?
they were winning. They literally got to champs final with somebody on their team consistently dropping a 0.7.
Paco's
Like
insane.
that is
Which
that
is
is fucking
insane.
insane.
Yeah.
Let's
One
move
dumb
on.
carry.
Let's move on to the next
ARs?
question here. There's a few questions here.
Oh. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I don't think we can move on for the Mount Rushmore question. If you guys all had to pick one team to make a roster move to be the top of the bottom 8, who would it be, and what move would could
Vegas
it be?
Legion, pick up a good sub.
Yeah.
Agreed. What placement justifies Surge to stick with the same roster? What placement? Ooh.
First.
I knew Pat was gonna say first. I knew he was gonna say first.
You wanted him to win the fucking tournament?
I think
trying to think.
LAT is like the ceiling for when it comes
I
down to
think
these
top
teams.
four.
Top four. Yeah.
I think top 4.
If you're a bottom tier team and don't break into the top 4, then you need to make a change in order to compete against the top 4 team and upset them at a tournament.
only-
Top 4, there's at
the
least an
only-
argument to keep your team together.
There's a
Anything below
caveat.
that is like you're obviously not going to.
There's a caveat, which is that Abuza, I guess, signed a 1-year deal. I assume we'll sign a short-term deal to extend this event, but possible another team poaches Abuza, even if they place top 4. Only there are top 4 teams that clearly then didn't place top 4 and got top 8. They try to pick him up, and then they won't be able to keep him because he's free and he can go wherever he wants.
That's so typical by him.
Yeah, that's a W fucking looking out for yourself move. I respect the fuck out of him if that was his decision.
I don't think we're gonna see expansion. I've already talked to some people about that. That's chalked.
Not this season, but maybe next year. There's a lot of we've talked about this before. There's a lot of orgs circling the CDL.
And
for
we're
a
also
number of
still on
different
YouTube.
reasons.
I'm pretty sure. We're also another
I don't know
year
what
on
YouTube. I don't know what YouTube has to do with that question, but
Just clarifying.
you know, like I think there are a lot of interested orgs circling the scene. We got to see
Not
what the
bad,
league
Tom.
format looks going forward.
Wait, I got a
Um,
question.
But yeah,
Since Tom brought up YouTube.
Yeah.
So did y'all see the post? I think it was Intel CDL made about the viewership numbers.
283. Yeah.
I thought this champs was gonna be like record-breaking numbers.
Bro, it was
right?
the lowest viewed champs the last 4 years.
Yeah, I was mind blown to see.
Yeah,
And that was
YouTube
with
debuff.
Seth
That's
watch party,
YouTube,
Zuma watch
100%.
YouTube
party.
debuff.
yeah.
Yeah. I was
If
like,
this shit was
damn,
on Twitch, we
people-
would have had 500K.
Well, I
People watch me
actually
running Lamar more
I-
than they watch that champs. That's insane.
I think it's a YouTube debuff, but I want to add one more piece to it because I saw
Watch
a lot
party,
of people
Sam, I
at the
had to say
event
it.
talked to me about it. A lot of people came into Coffee and Con and talked about it. And I saw a lot of people on Twitter talking about it before the event. I don't know if the layoffs affected us, but CDL did like negative marketing for this champs event in the last like couple of weeks running up to it. There was just no hype. There were no pieces on Twitter. There were no pieces on YouTube. Like really the only people pushing the marketing narrative were the orgs, like this show, people streams. Like there's just no like drive to attention.
Well, the
that
viewership was great
existed
for.
on the
Well, apparently
platform.
Scum broke his concurrent record, which is all. Congratulations
like
to him
150
because that's
or
awesome.
something.
That's incredible. I think just overall, and it's crazy to know that Scump's viewership, right, is just significantly higher than the actual league, right? Like it's actually.
I mean,
Insane.
that's awesome for Seth, but that is not good, I feel like, for the league.
Yeah, for the
But
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, for the league, it's different. Yeah.
Tarek pulls like 200K for Val matches,
Yeah,
bro.
I was about to say, and
Like Brazilian co-streamers for CS get fucking hundreds of
Yeah,
thousands of viewers.
Dolls, I'm about to say something that's going to piss off a number of people in this scene, and I really just don't care. I think these publishers and organizers are realizing the power of co-streams, the power of choosing their own entertainment, and I think it's going to obviously have a negative effect to sort of main broadcasts of a lot of these events because organizers will say, well, talent rates are pretty high, travel is pretty high, the production costs of like all the stuff around them, how their presentation is high, and why don't we just empower co-streamers? And I really honestly believe it's not just a COD thing. I think across the industry, you're going to see some people experiment with that. I think in the next couple of years.
I mean, it's the same reason a
Co-streaming
lot
is
of
the new norm
marketing.
for a lot of esports.
It's the same reason a lot of marketing turned into influencer marketing. It's
Yeah.
it's literally the same reason.
100%.
I mean, you can argue that the things that let's say the CDL desk does are very similar to the things that we do on our co-streams. So like outside of the casters tell the story during the match.
Co-streams might be better. I'm just saying.
But that's what I'm saying. So like there is a real world possibility where, for example, they could, instead of having a desk, right, an analyst desk, they could literally just cut to co-streams and like pay them. You know what I mean? So
I mean, I'll be
That's
honest.
next level
I'll-
integration.
I'll be honest.
yeah,
like,
exactly.
I don't care.
Not
about,
saying that they're not good at their job. I'm more so saying we are in that same space.
I mean,
No.
I'll say that Tom and I have been approached to take our temperature on shit like that. So I just think it will happen eventually.
There's
Just
just a lot
not
of
COD and
crossover.
somewhere else.
I feel like there's a lot of crossover
Yeah.
with that though, with like individual branding for watch parties and like a lot
Yeah.
of like integration that would require between
is
the watch party and the
hilarious.
CDL, what's available with Activision to be
Yeah,
on
that's true.
broadcast.
We
like,
did that- we did that
that
major-
makes it
you know
hard.
what I
We
mean?
did that at Major 4 last year. I mean, we did all the
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah, we
interviews.
did. We did interviews at Major 4.
So like, I just think
That was fun.
That was
Yeah,
so
it was
good. I can't
super
believe
fun.
that was not.
I want that
offered again.
camera, bro.
But I
We had
guess that
that
was 'cause of the
fucking
smaller
20
venue, but-
grand, 50 grand camera.
Also,
we used, so it
that's
looked
not
fucking
dangerous.
great.
Yeah, that
Take.
was
That's just-
fun.
No, it's
Uh,
dangerous because
Ben-
I'm gonna get fucking.
I mean,
there's
I
a
don't
couple
see how they
people
can
are
say-
not gonna be happy.
No
I
one,
said
no,
that.
no one is saying that these people and there's people that are working for Activision or the CDL are not good at their job. It's more so saying that there's a world where like they integrate us or other watch parties just like other fucking games do. Like it's just it's not going to happen. It might not happen, but it's a possibility. That's not
I
dangerous.
just
3 years. That's all
I
I'm
just
saying.
think, to Tom's point, I think where he wanted to go in the beginning of the segment, YouTube is a big crutch on the expansion of like community streams, community co-streaming, a lot of like keeping on platform, 24-hour engagement. Right, when we were on Twitch, like, you know, people would stream in the morning, then to watch CDL, and they talk about CDL afterwards. You don't have to leave the platform to ever like hear people talking about the games that are going on, the storylines, all that shit. Now you just got to kind of go all over. I think, look, I get the revenue play. I get the reason why the league went, or the pressure from the executives for why the league went with the YouTube deal. But assuming that economics are not an issue, like being platform agnostic, being on every platform is just going to be so much better for not just like overall viewership, but just the growth of the entire fucking community, which I think is more important than revenue at this point.
All right, let's move on.
No one's making money in esports, so let's go with growth.
Let's move on to the next question. Possibilities of the league letting Optic host champs again next year. If nobody else is gonna step up to make it like that again, hell yeah, that shit was far.
Zero. It's zero.
Yeah, after everything, I mean, I'm sure CDL's
No,
gonna.
it has nothing to do with that. It's just I think
Oh, you don't think so?
I think from what I've heard behind the scenes, I think this is sort of an off-year one thing, unless obviously if a team comes and says, yo, I've got
Well,
the
it
most
better be good.
sick venue of all time, I'm going to pay for this shit, then I think all the owners will think about it. But I think likely the league will probably host champs going forward.
Yeah, we got to keep that center stage, bro. Whatever we do, please
Yeah.
keep the center stage. That shit was fire.
I think they've set a bar, and I know Adam Adamu, who's the owner, one of the CEO over Active, tweeted about his thoughts on the event. Like, I know people had a lot of thoughts, but the constituency for these decisions is not us. It's really the ownership that approves kind of teams hosting events that are, you know, champs, like other keystone parts of the calendar.
Is that still the case though? Now that they don't have the buy-in, like the buy-in earned them to the right to sit at this table and make these decisions. But I feel like the fact that now the entry fee is gone, it didn't cost any of these teams $1 to be involved in the league outside of like operational costs. Is that still true, Ben? Like, why would that operationally? Why would teams still have that much veto power when it's like they don't have any?
Skin in the game.
Yeah, they don't have any skin in the game. Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
they've all
They all got their money back. They're just a part of a free league now.
Well,
The league
no,
doesn't
because
owe them anything in
they-
terms of that, right?
They had a stake before. They don't now.
so they signed a team participation agreement. We don't know what's in the agreement. We don't know the governance strategy behind the TPA, but they're a part of that agreement, and I assume it gives them the ability as a group to decide on certain things, such as like teams that bid on events.
That made sense when they all had a $25 million stake.
But I'm saying
in the
it might
league.
still be the case regardless of whether or not they have a buy-in or not.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that doesn't make sense to me. Like why would they still have that same?
Because they're owners of teams in the league, and they would say that per the agreement they have the authority to do so.
I mean, Ben, me and you could go be an owner of the team in the league if we got approved. Like it's not like you're putting a stake in. That's why.
Yeah, but
I
that's
don't
the key part. That's the key part you're missing here, though, because someone can't walk up tomorrow and be like, I got $10 Activision. Let me take over LAG.
But it wouldn't even cost $10. It costs $0.
It costs what? It's costs. Okay, so like, if there's anything we have learned from the Scump Hector lawsuit, and I think we all know this from behind the scenes, is a closed process, and at the end of the day, Activision, the owners, are going to be the ones that are going to decide who, at the moment, are going to be owners of teams in this league. Unless the format of everything changes, at the moment, like that is what determines it.
I don't even think
You
I'd
see where
give
I'm going with
LAG
this?
$10.
You see where I'm going with this? Like,
I agree with Kason in chat. To
Give
be
you a
honest.
GTR, Pat. Show some respect, man.
I agree with
Hey, I
Kason in
got that
chat.
before
Let's
that.
move. Sam, I wanted to get your opinions on it.
let Case on host champs next year, bro.
Sam's been muted this whole episode.
Yeah,
I know, yeah.
Ben be going
Y'all have
crazy.
been fucking yapping,
Bro, talking about me. Look, we talking about Chris.
You guys have been
both
fucking
yapping.
generational yet.
I'm not
Oh,
yapping.
yeah.
I'm
Give me a
just
fucking
flaming
break,
Ben.
bro.
All right, well,
I
Chris
I
and
feel like you
Ben,
guys have a lot of questions.
relax,
more than
Sam.
anything.
The floor is yours, Sam. The floor is yours.
I saw a lot of comparisons to traditional sports with like the Super Bowl hostings.
That's the problem with these sports.
I agree, but in this specific anecdote, I think it's actually an interesting idea. How would you guys feel about rotating champs hosts?
Be awful.
What do you mean
Yeah.
rotating?
Like,
Yeah,
like
until-
the same
until
as
it-
the Super Bowl, just like it just different teams, different years, whether they're in it or not. It's like in their city and they host it.
It's not so
Yeah,
Super
until
Bowl
it gets to the Royal Ravens and those guys are like,
Okay,
hell
well,
no,
if
we don't want to
they're
host this
capable
shit.
of hosting it, I'm saying in
Bro,
an ideal world,
I
not
had
fucking going to Vegas and it's in a fucking
warehouse. I
I don't know how I feel about that.
Super Bowl works the same way that like the World Cup does, the same way that like Champions League host works. It's a bidding process. It's not like a set rotation. And there's a
Okay,
lot
so
of
what if it was a
there's a
bidding
lot of
process?
there's
Then
a
what if
lot
teams
of
could bid on
politics.
hosting it?
Anyone that would meet the requirements of the RFP, like being able to prove that they can secure a venue, they have the ability to execute the event from a financial standpoint, like
What
all
if
the
it's a
check
bidding
marks or
war?
whatever.
It's never leaving Dallas, brother.
Tom, check out
I
the
mean, there
tweet
might be
I
years
just
that they want
posted in the Flank production.
To be
Hold
fair,
on.
though,
Got
it
you.
literally was the best event.
Because
ever.
I kind of answered, or I kind of shared my opinion on the question you're asking, Sam. It's like I think it's a terrible idea.
Why is that?
And well, you'll see when Tom brings up the tweet.
okay.
But
Here it
like,
comes. There you go. Still
I-
a bad
and I agree
idea in
with
my
this take from
opinion.
Pat.
What if another team hosts and is let down? Chance specifically should always be put on by Activision and be the biggest event of the year, including budget. Look at the tier 1 esports. Go ahead, Pat. Why don't you take the floor here? Explain your tweet.
yeah, every tier 1 esport that we have is put on by the publisher, and it's an insane event. All of those are insane events. They're by far the biggest events of the year. They absolutely go wild with budgets, and that's obviously going to vary game to game. But like all of these publishers support their esports insanely. Like international is the biggest prize pool of all time because they have that in-game bundle that they sell for the international. Riot does an incredible job with both Valorant and
go
World.
through all the titles here. What does it cost to play all those games?
Cost to play those games.
Yeah, what
You
is
mean?
what is the cost entry for an average player in all those games? I'm gonna try to explain this to you.
I don't know
I'm
how
gonna ask
much
two questions.
Rainbow Six costs now. It's changed over the years.
I think it's
It
probably
depends on the
it's
game,
probably,
Ben.
probably got to be pretty close to free, right? Rainbow Six at this
Well,
point.
Oh, you have to buy Rainbow.
Well, Val and League are free.
So I just think, listen, to compare to Riot that buys out Riot buys out a venue for an entire fucking month and spends millions, right? Like, and they do it not just for League of Legends, by the way. LCS at fucking Madison Square Garden. I can't imagine how much it costs to get in that building a
I
day.
think Rainbow Six is $30.
Okay,
right
so
now.
Rainbow Six is the exception to the list of all this. I think I agree with your take, Pat. Activision should be stepping up and hosting a banger champs, but I'm gonna warn you, like, their response to that is going to be letting EFG then run champs event, and you better be careful what you wish for, based on EFG's priorities, where that champs event's going to be.
It doesn't. It
Like
doesn't
you may
matter,
not you may
though.
not get the result you want here is what
But
I'm trying to say.
I don't have no skin in the game. I don't give a fuck who runs it. What I'm saying is this is always what has held back Call of Duty from ever being a tier 1 esport. That's the reality. Is that the support from Activision has been so pathetic in comparison to every other tier 1 publisher from the get-go, from the very beginning.
But do you know why that is, though?
No, I don't. They
Because
don't
it's
give
a
a fuck about esports.
0.00001% of the player base.
It's that plus like
That makes them no money.
because of that there is no alignment
Same amount of
between.
support.
Bro,
They've
it's-
never been aligned from the publisher to the developer, top to bottom. They've never been aligned, and it's never been a priority. Yes, Sam, you're right. It is 0.001%, but it didn't have to be. It could have been if they started from a long time ago. That percentage could have been exponentially larger, and
Yeah,
that's
growing
my
over time,
problem.
yeah.
And it's always been the problem. And I've said it for over a decade now. Half the people didn't even know what COD Esports was when I was having this take. You can go back and find a video of me ranting about this on my YouTube channel from 2015 for like 2 hours. It's always been the issue from the get-go.
The
I
only
mean, COD's just not
people-
inherently competitive, and all of the games on this list are the game that is played competitively.
But
that's the
thing.
disconnect.
It totally could be. That's where I'm saying. Like, and we've had.
Well, it's an
we've
uphill
talked about
battle from
this
the
across
start.
It could be,
across
it
the
could be,
board.
but the question I'm going to ask you is, if they do it, is it going to heavily reduce the revenue they'll make year to year?
hardly. Hardly.
You think so? Because I think that's the question, and that's the reason why it
Bro,
hasn't
the
happened.
game is still filled with so much skill-based matchmaking that it would not matter if the game was the most competitive game of all time or the biggest noob-friendly game ever. Like,
No one isn't going to
no
buy.
one is going to notice.
No one isn't going to not buy COD next year because there's not a Claymore in the game.
Yeah,
Like that's the argument I've always made.
Their skill-based matchmaking is so insane, Ben, that it doesn't matter.
Oh,
the
I
type
know.
of game
Trust
you
me,
play.
we all play. We know how fucking insane the skill-based
Bro
matchmaking
said
is. Trust.
we're in silver.
Trust, it is insane. I
Regardless,
just, I just think
one of the most. And look at the comparison. Like Activision as a
we are
publisher,
all, we are
how
all
much
aware, brother.
how much revenue they make in comparison to is like insane. The fact
It's,
that they're
it's
having
fucking insane.
having
It's billions.
other
With a
orgs-
capital B.
having other orgs participating in the league have to bid to volunteer to even run the event and eat costs so Activision doesn't have to in order to throw a champs on is insane. That is the problem.
But
It's absolutely pathetic, and it's always what has held back Call of Duty from being a tier 1 esports.
The
and
issue,
that's the problem.
Pat, is that from my on the outside, and obviously people Activision.
They laid off 90% of the staff working on esports. That's another huge issue.
Well,
and then the owner of Toronto, I forget his actual
Adam.
tag name. Yeah, his name's Adam, but I forget it. He replied to me, and I had to reply back. And he had basically mentioned that they hosted as a team the 2023 Overwatch League Championships. Toronto did. He said we didn't even qualify for the event, but we hosted it. And I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. But guess what? 6 months later, the Overwatch League completely shut its doors. So if you think it's a good sign that the publisher is pawning off the event to other team owners to eat cost and run the events when they can't do it themselves and put on tier 1 shows like every other game, it's not a good sign, period.
So
and that's always been my
Let
take.
me ask you this question, Pat. Because I'm going to tell you guys,
regardless of how good of an event Optic puts on.
What my Benjay prediction is, and then I'm going to spin it back to you, Pat, if you are go with this reality, right? The way are we heading right now is that if you want Activision to host champs, they don't have the team to do it. So they're going to ask EFG to do it. You know what EFG is going to say is we want champs in Riyadh. Are you down for that? Or would you much rather have a team hosted champs? What would you choose, Pat?
I mean, bro, I have no skin in the game.
Answer the fucking question. Which
I
would
don't
you
give a
prefer?
fuck where champs is. I'm not flying there regardless.
Why won't you answer the question?
I just answered it. I don't care.
Why won't you answer the question?
It doesn't affect me. I don't care where they put it.
But
All
why,
I'm
but why
playing
have
is
this?
it's
Why
not
have
a
this
tier
take?
1
But
esport.
why have this take if I'm going to give you what is behind the door and you don't want what's behind the door?
Bro, you're just giving a one outlier where they can only use
what's behind the door.
Do you know what's being talked about?
EFG.
Do you know what's being talked? Bro, we've all heard about. Bro, we've all heard about what's been talked about next 18 to 24 months in esports.
That's not even comparable though, Ben.
I'm just trying to tell you all what's going to fucking happen.
ESL puts on multiple CS majors, and it's not in Saudi Arabia only.
Okay, the CS example. Okay, CS example is not a good example. Let me explain why.
PGL majors,
PGL's not
Blast
that.
majors.
PGL Blast.
Honestly, guys,
get your final thoughts out.
Conversation, Ben, is these publishers pick multiple tournament organizers to put on
Valve is
world events.
Valve. Okay, can we go to this? Valve is a really outlier example because their involvement in esports is very weird. They're starting to put their thumb more on the CS scene, and I'm very curious to see how Valve rankings. But ESL and running ESL majors, Cologne, Katowice, IEMs, and all of that, like that's not going to change. Blast and PGL completely separate from ESL, but if given the opportunity to host, the way that is going to happen in esports now, bro, with EFG, if they are given the opportunity to host a one-off event, their one off the top goal before their publisher or their client decides otherwise is to try and put everything in Saudi because that's where their investment's from, and that's where they're going to try and drive engagement to. Everybody in the scene is telling you that, bro. And I'm just trying to prepare you all for what's going to happen next year if this is what you want, Pat, because instead of having a banger event in Dallas, we're going to have a question mark of what kind of environment we get for a champion.
Well, guys, wait, I have one thing to say.
Either way, it's the same problem, is that it's what's holding back COD from being a tier 1 esport.
Well, the problem,
either example.
Pat, I want to answer your question. The reason that is happening is because there's no alignment between esports and the people that manage esports, because they've gone to a couple of different teams now. They outsourced it to Encompass for a while. Then they had ESL run it. Then they bought MLG and they had MLG do it. And then they laid off all those people. They made the CDL and now they laid off all those people. That team and their alignment with the rest of the business unit, the marketing dollars that are behind the business unit, those things are just not talking to each other. And to your point, until they do that, it's never going to happen the way you want, Pat.
Yeah, honestly,
when
guys,
they do it, though, it'll be a banger. But for now, no.
I think we should let Tommy's Nose host champs because I feel like we can host a couple thousand in there, and the ventilation in Tommy's Nose has to be incredible.
Oh, here we go.
Wow.
There's always
Comes a
something. Let's
nose
move
glaze out
on.
of
Let's
fucking
move
Chris.
on. Let's move on. We got a couple more questions. And then we'll end it because Jesus. Ben, do you have any energy drinks today? And be honest with me. Be
No,
completely
bro.
honest with me.
Bro.
There's gotta be a fucking
Why is
Ghost
Porter
Energy
trying to fight me
Benjay or
in the
something.
Chat, by the way, what the fuck? What the fuck, Porter?
You're turnt right now. Porter's probably flaming you because you're turnt. I mean, I love the passion though, Benjay. I love the passion you're bringing. It's phenomenal.
I mean, it was a good combo.
You know what I mean? No, it's good. I like the passion, but Jesus fuck. You see any changes of Ultra subliners or FaZe if they don't place good at EWC? I mean, yeah, especially if they don't
Yes.
place,
Yeah.
especially if they get a really bad placing, 100%.
Yes.
You know, if they start getting to maybe top 2, top 3, I don't know. Maybe we'll see kind of like who's on the market, what's possible for some of these guys. But I mean, for the most part, like, yeah, if they get like a bad placing, I can see them changing for sure. That's just a little bit of a harder question. It's harder to answer who they're gonna get because at this time it's kind of hard to say. I feel like a lot could change. So, any other thoughts on that? Does everybody agree with me, or do you guys have any thoughts to add to that?
You guys think they have to even bomb out? I think top 4 is still like, yeah, we're looking at changes still.
Yeah, we should
Bro,
answer
I
the
just
question
see a
right
reality
underneath
where
it.
even if they try to make changes, I just don't see a realistic.
Just
I'm not talking
depends
about
if they
changes.
want to
I'm
go
more so mean
outside.
Ultra in New York.
No,
It
that's
depends
what
if they
I'm
go
saying,
outside
though.
the top
Dan
4 to get a
Ghosty
player.
propaganda.
But that's what I don't see happening. That's the
Well,
problem.
you say
is, like,
Dan
I see
Ghosty
them trying.
propaganda.
I just don't
Yeah,
see
go
it
ahead.
happening.
You say Dan Ghosty propaganda, but like I was watching a clip of Nate's stream from the other day, and he got asked about Dan Ghosty, and he didn't seem like super enthused on letting Dan leave. Now, obviously, if Dan
Doesn't matter, bro. He gets offered $1 million gajillion dollars and he wants to leave. You really think Matt is the type of person to
well,
be
that's
like,
that's the
"Fuck
question.
no, baby"?
That's the question, isn't it? But I
Yes,
think
I
to your
do.
point, Pat, I
No.
think like the way that changes will go down, I think easiest is if any one of these teams try to go outside the top 4 to get a player, and then the kind of like churn happens there. But like buyouts and all that stuff, they get really tricky after EWC. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
but
gonna be tough.
am I fated to think like the first team that does that kind of loses Rostermania? Ben, like,
Depends on the player they're picking up.
yeah, but either way, they would be dropping someone who would likely get pulled by a top 4 team because that would have then kicked off the catalyst of the top 4 swapping. Like the problem right now is
Depends on the
I
player.
don't see the top 4 swapping. So, I mean, I don't know if FaZe don't make a change, it's going to be really weird because then it would just be like, let's say Insight for Ghosty, and then at that point, like
New York, I'm gonna make a
Nothing
video on
happens.
this.
I don't
I
know.
think New York is the most interesting of the 4 teams as far as Rostermania for a number of reasons, including the new ownership, but like what they could theoretically do with the personnel they have, role wise, and who they can get they could do some real interesting stuff.
I'm gonna be
They made
honest.
changes
I
winning
think the
champs, bro. They're
biggest
not
thing
about
is if
losing.
Paco becomes poachable. I think that's the biggest thing. And I don't know with C9 coming in, I don't know how much they're willing to spend. Like what if they don't want to pick up people's options because the number's way too high, right? What is that?
why'd they get involved though?
Because maybe
Yeah,
they
they had to know the money situation
can't
prior to
see
getting
them
involved.
getting
They definitely asked
involved.
New York, like, what's your
Oh
bottom
yeah,
line
no,
for this
but
team?
but everybody's got a different money situation, though, guys. I mean, I feel like everybody's kind of different. I mean, listen, people are saying they got money and they're willing to spend. I mean, if that's the case, good for them. Resign Paco. Jesus fuck. You might as well just re-sign him then. But I'm just saying, I know there's teams that have come in.
The way I see it, Tom, C9's barrier to entry with the CDL specifically was the buy-in. With the buy-in gone, I think they can now justify paying a superstar player to
Listen,
stay. in a
Well,
top
hold
4
on, you
spot.
I know a lot of
you
people.
don't-
Listen, a lot of people are like
whoa,
Zuma
whoa,
doesn't
whoa.
understand. He's a moron, guys. I understand C9 has a lot of money. Just because somebody has a lot of money doesn't mean they're willing to spend that money. I've heard some things from talking behind the scenes where they're willing to spend, but I don't know if they're willing to spend. You know what I mean?
Ben before he goes off.
So
early
like
today.
it's
Whoa,
different,
whoa.
bro.
Why
Ben's
would
face
they-
right now,
why
Ben
he's
was
would
about
throwing
to
up
go
There's
insane.
a
timeout
caveat
gang
there.
signs, bro. He's ready to
There's-
fucking
There's a
yap.
caveat there because it's like I assume Cloud9 purchasing the subliners organization wasn't free. There was a certain amount of dollars attached to that, so we don't know
Yeah,
that it's a
I
private fucking
bet
purchase.
they got them at pennies on the dollar. But
we just don't know. So I don't want to make an assumption at all on that because who knows? Could
Either
be
way.
not zero. It could be enough that it does affect their budget, but we just don't know.
Even if the acquirement cost is not the concern, it's the payment to the league. That's the concern. That I mean, bro, I know that was why C9 did not get involved 5 years ago. Was the cost to pay a franchise league spot was more than they wanted to spend.
Well, now
that's
that's gone, so maybe they're willing to get back in.
Yeah, it's gone now.
That's
So
100%.
And by the way, they're getting into like, you know, we were maybe a little bit critical about Dante and his team. Dante had a great fucking champs. It looks like a
But
very
Dante's been
solid,
great.
incredible piece going forward. Obviously, we know what Paco brings. You know, the other two guys, you know, Skies is kind of done his thing, and Kiz had a real rough event. You know, when Kiz plays well, what kind of production you get out of them. Like, and New York core with the coaching staff as well is a really good unit and a consistent unit as far as potentially getting wins in the CDL and for EWC, by the way, too.
all right, next question. What is happening to LAG? Are we getting a replacement team, or are they forced to field a team again? What's going on here with the LAG? As Porter gets a moron spam in my chat.
We already know they're just not going. And
No, I mean after.
you
I'm
mean for,
saying
like, the
after.
CDL?
Yeah.
What I've
After
heard
EWC.
is that there's a lot of interested parties potentially in acquiring that unquote spot. Whether Activision is entertaining those offers, I don't know. But people
what
made
are
it
some of the
clear
names
behind
you're
the
hearing,
scenes that
Ben?
it's anywhere from like large orgs to some of the smaller challengers orgs are trying to get in on the spot. Like everybody just wants, their ability to kind of showcase their league,
Everyone wants to.
spot in the league. But here's the problem: is we don't know. Again, close
free.
process with Activision.
Ben, let's try and get in. Me and you, let's run it.
Yeah,
Let's
but at the end of the
submit a
day,
bid.
just because it's free, it's gonna come down to owners and Activision who they want to give the spot to.
I'll
If
give
that's
them
how.
$1.
Well,
Pat's
you might not be on
fucking
their list of
team
preferred people to
logo's
work
gonna be
with,
Pop
Pat.
Nemo.
So who knows?
Yeah, they can't afford me anyway, Ben.
3 mil over 3 years,
No, I would go up for Activision.
and you want some stock, I assume too. You're looking for a
Go
little
up
He
for
Microsoft
said it would
stock,
go
right?
up.
He's looking,
That's
he's looking
great.
a little sprinkle of that Microsoft stock.
All right, let's keep it going. See if there's any other questions here. I was scrolling through. Somebody said something about Ben and feet. I don't know, bro.
crazy.
We might need to fucking read one more and get the hell out of here. How much weight does EWC have? It seems to be a little fluky going into it. Fluky?
What's fluky about it?
I don't know.
Probably
just
the
a
single
major.
limb.
The only fluky part of the event is that the single limb bracket could cause some.
I wish it
Weird
was
shit to
extended
happen.
series single
Bro.
limb.
Bro, but
Yeah, I agree
either
with
way, what is with ESL and single a limb?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not ideal, but this is definitely the minority opinion on it. But I really don't mind extended series best of 7 single limbs. I really don't.
Yeah, but it's just ESL. They did the same thing in BO3 when they took over for that 1
Yeah,
year.
that shit was late. I was running people's worlds.
Damn, you weren't running people's world. Okay?
And to Paul's point, like there is a group
the
stage
first half of the year, it was.
GSL groups, but like you know what I'm saying, you get out and you're getting your own 18
ESL's
bracket.
great. Run a double limb after that.
Well, so like what CS
The
does
best
is
of
weird,
fives,
bro. CS's format's weird because they do single and bracket, but like the way they do the groups now, like people qualify into the semi. They're like they tier out how this.
Bro,
this,
but it
the
wouldn't
bracket
matter,
works.
man. I hate this comparison.
I hate it
League
too.
of
I don't like
Legends,
it.
CS, they can be single limb. Their games are 1 hour long.
I
We
agree.
are a 10-minute match that happens in the split of literally a
Get
split
DoorDash
second.
before Pat's fucking face sub arrives.
I had
Like,
to pee. I'm sorry, guys. I'm back.
It just goes way too fast to be single a limb. Like it works when the games are absolutely insane and it's a big viewership experience no matter what. But Call of Duty does not operate that. No arena shooter,
Yeah.
in my opinion, operates that way.
I don't really know why they chose single limb for this. I don't know if it was just they wanted a little bit more uncertainty. I don't know if it's a scheduling reason, but hopefully in the future, like pool play, I like. But come on, let's do a double M18 bracket, man. It'll bring the best team will end up winning out of that.
All right, let's move on. Let's answer this one last question for EWC. Obviously, we've had X Games in the past. Where do you guys rank like EWC? I mean, there's a lot of money on the line, right? So this
There's
got
a
to be
shit ton of money. It's not comparable to X Games, bro. X Games was a gold medal and like some prestige. This is $1.8 million.
Yeah, this is
Bro.
different. This is different.
I'm not gonna lie. I put this on par with champs. Like it's literally at least like 90% of the same event. Like the prize money's
Tom,
up there.
Run the outro. Tom, run the
Bro,
outro.
what
Run the
are you
outro.
saying?
Tom,
Yeah,
run
that's
the
crazy.
outro. Tom, run
Nah,
the
I think
Wait,
that's
outro.
crazy.
Tom,
I
run
think
the
that's
outro.
crazy.
What?
I think that's
It's
Tom,
crazy.
run
$2
the
too.
outro.
million. How?
Thank you guys for watching. Shout out to Gersh doing a phenomenal job on socials. Make sure you guys check out all the audio
Benji, hit
sites.
the paw, Benji. Hit the
Benji.
fucking
I'm
paw,
gonna go rip
Benji.
the paw right now.
Duarte,
rip
what's
the
the
paw.
problem? What's wrong, Duarte? What's
assuming
wrong?
EWC is going to be around for years, bro. The prize
Yeah,
might
it is
going to
be around for years.
Like,
It is going to be around for
how
years.
is this? How is this not a fucking
Because
like,
you
mega
play
high
for
tier
a
event?
seed at a tournament for the entire season. You play multiple majors and online qualifiers to set the stage for the tournament. This is a single elimination,
you're still
best of 5 pool play.
Yeah, but it's still
after the
huge.
tournament is over. Are
It's still a
we
huge. It's still a huge
Run the
tournament.
outro.
Ladies and
It's still
gentlemen,
a
it's
huge
Crib
tournament.
6.
We're just gonna pretend like there's not a
What's
$2
up,
million
Porter?
elephant in the room.
Prize pool's not the only
what's
thing that
up?
matters
Okay.
in that
It's just
situation.
a
Chris.
one-off sports washing tournament. Yeah, it can be around for years, but this is not
My hand is
COD
part-
Champs, bro.
Sports washing, Jesus.
Absolutely.
Champs is crazy.
Yeah, no, Porter's not wrong. Spit off Porter if you want to fucking say some shit.
Porter, what do you
I
have to
agree.
say,
That's-
Porter?
money-
You're late,
money is-
Porter.
money
You're
is
late.
money.
Just a blessed opportunity for the players, bro.
I know. I'm
That's all this
jealous.
is.
I'm jealous. I might come back.
Yeah.
Porter, you might have to
No.
fucking
Let's
come
take a
back,
flank
bro.
squad.
You might
I'm
be
not fucking
him.
coming back. I'm not fucking coming
I don't
back.
know. You're looking good now, boy. You lost some weight. Maybe you. I don't know. You might be to get back on the
If I
sticks,
look
bro.
good, that means if I look good,
You
that
look
means I
good,
suck
play
at
good.
video
You look
games.
good, play good, Porter. You know what they say.
No, that's not how it works. No,
Ian, that
that's
crowd
not-
was loud for you this weekend, man. I
I'm
don't know.
crying.
They
bro.
love you over there, man. They love you, Porter. They loved you over there. They were going, yo, Porter. How did that come to fruition? Like, how did you get out there? Like, what happened? You just pulled up with an Optic? Yo, you want to walk out with
Yeah.
us?
Was that pre-planned?
pretty much.
That's
No.
far. That's sick. That was such a dope walkout, Porter. That was so sick. That was a sick walkout.
Yeah, I shouldn't have been on my phone. The video kind of sucked, dude.
Hey, it's all good. It was still cool.
I shouldn't have tried to record it.
It's all
Yeah,
good.
Yeah,
Just
no,
drop
it's
the
still,
GoPro
it's
on
still
your
hit the
big ass
same, bro. You're
forehead.
good.
Porter, it was good, Porter. I liked it, man. I thought it was great. Porter, what you been up to, bro? How's the racing scene been going? Give us a little update here in the flank. How's
Yeah,
racing
well-
going? How's life?
Finally beat my coach.
That's
today.
awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm like taking a break right now because usually I don't.
How's your hand doing?
Finger's fine. I don't know if it'll like ever be the same, but it's like for driving, it's fine.
What happened to it?
Not an accident, right? You hit the wall.
I literally broke the tip of my right pointer finger, and doesn't bend the same.
Never want to break the tip, man.
Yeah,
Oh, Jesus
just the
Christ.
tip, bro.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Not out of Pat. I was not expecting that from
shit.
Pat.
But go ahead, Porter. Go ahead.
But yeah, trying to figure out next year. It's really weird. You got to plan it out like months in advance. So like next year would be 6 months out, 7 months out. I'm already planning for it. So
You gonna bring in any rank play streams when a new game drops? You gotta hop in, play some ranked with us.
yeah.
You
No,
don't
I'm
turn
going
turn
to.
the stream on, play some
I
ranked and
need a
shit.
day. I need a day job, bro.
Hey, stream, bro. Come stream, play some games with us. Come play, come pull up, join a TS.
It's
Wait,
actually
Porter, you know the RP's back, right?
yeah.
Oh, we
I
got-
might have to.
I remember when the Slay and Porter hit the streets of GTA.
Bro.
I remember that. That was a
Bro,
wild
those are some
experience.
That was a successful week of streaming. I felt like we got some good clips too.
Hell yeah, bro. You're always more than welcome to hop in and game. You got the team speak now. You got the info. Hop in, come game with us, bro. We'll be vibing
Yeah.
for sure.
I had to fucking install this thing.
Yeah, you got to install it. What
Yeah, new
TeamSpeak? You didn't have
kinda
TeamSpeak?
ass.
No.
Benjay, hit the pump, man. You got channel points on the line, Benjay.
Brother, I was waiting for you to tell me that the play.
Go ahead, sit
Wait,
that shit.
hold on. Yo, we gotta actually. Well, not hold on. Ben
What?
hit the putt, but we gotta talk about Tommy's bullshit
Oh, here we
base-
go.
with
What
baseball.
Tommy bullshit?
With
What do you
baseball.
mean with baseball?
Oh,
Remember?
remember saying you could throw it further than him.
Oh, I could throw it far, bro. I could throw the ball. I'm telling you, bro. Give me a baseball. I can hork that shit, bro.
We gotta do an IRL stream or something.
Oh, this guy
Yeah.
Ben, man, he just got up there and sunk that shit real
on, can we
quick
talk
with his
about
dogs
this?
out. I mean, that was nice. You kind of ripped
we-
that putt and it somehow
I know,
went in.
I know. I was confident, but like, bro, can we talk about what Tommy said on the watch party, Porter, about him being able to throw a baseball? Is
Oh,
insane.
Porter, I'm an
Yeah.
animal.
Oh,
I can
dude.
hork a baseball. I can hork it yards, man. Yards.
I don't think he
Pinned
makes
by
it like,
Kason.
Oh man, it's unbelievable.
like if he's at home plate. I don't think he throws it past second.
No, that's gap. That's gap. That's gap. I was doing that. I was throwing it past second when I was 9 years old. I was in the outfield hitting home
I'm,
plate.
I'm saying,
you know what I mean?
saying like a big boy field though, like an MLB field.
Absolutely, I'm there.
I don't. I
do
don't think
this
you throw
shit.
past second.
No, that's gap. No, that's gap.
If you do, you
Yeah.
blow out your arm. 100%.
I haven't thrown. I'll be honest. I haven't thrown the ball in a long time, so I might feel something. Yeah, I might fucking feel. You might be right.
Little
You might be
twinge.
right,
Little
bro.
twinge.
You might be right. You know, you're probably not wrong, bro. It's been a long time, man. Been a long time, but that was my specialty when I was younger. But I had a good arm, bro. I don't know what it was. I used to fucking. I was an animal. I was a fucking
Yeah,
animal.
but we asked Tom what crow hop was during the watch party. Just didn't know.
yeah,
Porter.
he didn't know what a crow.
Brother,
was.
I know.
Literally
I
never-
didn't
he's
play
never played
baseball.
outfield.
I didn't play baseball. I played
Yeah,
baseball,
you're
but
not
not
gonna-
in
you're
like
not
a
gonna be
not in a
able to throw it
league.
as
Like I didn't
far
have
as
a
you want
coach.
without
I would
knowing
just
how to
play
do a crow
baseball with my
hop.
friends and
You're not gonna be
shit.
able to fucking eat that shit from
I
the
played
wall.
football. I was a soccer player. That's all I played was football my whole life growing up. That's all I played. I didn't play baseball. It's just that. I was.
Gersh said your nose blows the ball farther.
All right, let's end this shit. You know I've had enough of this shit. Guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If
W
you're watching on
crash out.
YouTube, go to Anchor.fm says the Flight. Check out Audio 86 Ron. Go follow at the Fling on Twitter. Girls doing a phenomenal job running
Shout out
socials.
to Easy Mac for the stats today.
Yep, shout out to Easy Mac. Hope you guys enjoyed, man. We'll obviously be running shows. We got the award show coming up soon. If anything happens, we'll definitely be breaking it down. Of course, we got EWC as well, man. So we'll be covering that as well. But we just got a lot coming
doing
up,
a
so make
watch
sure to stay
party
tuned.
there?
No, I'm not. I'm gonna actually be home watch partying. Ben might be there, but my best friend's getting married on August 17th. I'm the best man, so you know I gotta be there for that. So I won't be able to fly out to Saudi. So I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna try and balance the streams and everything else going on. I'm gonna have to fly back to Jersey, but I'm hearing the time zones are like flip flopped. Everything's gonna start super early and end early, so I might be able to make it work. We'll see how it goes, but.
Yeah,
Shout out
it's start like 10 a.m. I think every day basically. East Coast
Yeah.
time.
Shout out to Porter for hopping on, even if it was just for fucking 3 minutes. I appreciate you. Porter, you're
Yeah,
always
no
more than
problem,
welcome to hop on. And shout out to all you guys, man. I appreciate all the energy in the chat today, man. Thank you guys all so much. The energy was incredible. So shout out to everybody watching, man. I love you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next one, man. Take care. Brush your hair. Take it easy. We'll see you guys next time in another episode of The Flank, man. Peace out.
Peace.
This guy, Ben, is yep.